Hey everybody, welcome into Zelda Speedruns. Today we're going to be featuring, or tonight rather, we're going to be featuring the Ocarina of, that wasn't English. Ocarina of Time Randomizer, standard season 8 qualifier number 16. Our runners are going to be Levi, Belvedere, Dubedecker, Doc Heaps, and Chimpin Reeve. And the lovely Barakovka and Melqui are going to be taking you through the race. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the reins over to them, and I hope everyone has a good time.
Hey, thanks, Jimbo, and welcome everyone to ZSR After Dark, because it is dark way too fucking early these days.
Pretty much.
Bear, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready to watch this this S8 qual. Should be a good time.
Yeah, it should be. I am just finishing up one quick thing, and we will be getting going shortly. Everyone is entering the passwords, which I tried to type out just now. It's very difficult. Yeah, we've got a nice lineup here. Levi, Decker, Heaps, Chimp, all wonderful players, wonderful people.
Definitely.
Not had the pleasure of meeting Chimp yet, but I can vouch for all of the others being great.
Yeah, same actually.
Let's see. Stone Start and Song of Time. That's a bit trash.
Yeah, not a great start.
Yep. Did Levi start early, or are we just not synced currently?
Yeah, I don't know. My stream is being dumb right now.
Okay, well, we'll see if that syncs up. So Death Mountain Trail, Desert Colossus, and Fire Temple are foolish locations.
Interesting.
Oh, and Serenade is hinted as vanilla, which means our prelude is out at Desert Colossus. Not really where you want to see that in a seed where, you have a random child spawn.
Yeah, no, that's your best warps for like getting back and changing ages are just in kind of inconvenient spots, but we'll see how that works. Maybe there's just Requiem somewhere easy to get.
Yeah, that's definitely what these runners are, probably hoping for. I think back to the days of like seasons 5 and 6 when there were random spawns, and as soon as you got Prelude, it's like, okay, the seed is playable. And you want to avoid that mentality from the start.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we got one player going river first, and then everyone else is just doing the normal CAC route.
Yeah, how do you feel about River Opener?
So personally, I hate it, but also it's pretty good because you get the 3 hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is how confident are you at these 2 glitchless jumps?
Yeah, I'm trash at this lower one. Like, I can't do it. It's mostly why I hate doing early river.
Oh. And this is exactly why. So what you're seeing Heaps do here, his time of day is going to be tenuous. You set it to night so that, it's at the start of night. You can still get to CAC during daylight. But if you're not confident at these... Oh, and a bomb bag.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that makes this totally worthwhile. I'm trying to think of the... Oh, no. Just a little off there. Vanilla Shield there in Graveyard, and Vanilla Song of Storms. I'm not going to say, is this even randomized? Because obviously it is, but...
Yeah, you gotta say it just for Chuckles.
But you gotta say it, because Chuckles is here and hates it.
Yeah. But honestly, Song of Storm, sorry, this early is pretty good, I would say. Like, it gives you early access to the well.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, with that bomb bag, at least for heaps, like, that's most of well.
Yeah. There's a bow there in the crate and graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, bow is useful. Not
Bow
super
is
useful.
useful. I will say, we talk about the randomizer kind of getting stuck on certain checks from time to time. I feel like adult shooting has been one of those checks over the last week, so that's one of those things that I'm like immediately thinking about.
Hmm.
Primarily because it's very easy to forget about doing. It's hard to route in if you don't have Nocturne. But yeah,
Really
I would say bombs and hookshot are probably the two best gets in River.
Oh, yeah.
The
Hammer.
Song of Time to go to the windmill this direction. Um, Already picked up Storm, so heart container. Must not have checked the skull hints on the way in either. It's interesting, like, this sort of standard CAC opener, everyone does it a little differently, which to me it says that there's no, like, optimal way to do it when the Skullhouse hints are on.
Yeah, no, I think it's the introduction of the Skullhouse hints has made it somewhat awkward to try and do all these checks in a optimal order.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just kind of there. It's a little out of the way from everything else you're doing, so trying to figure out where to put it in is
That
not
looks like
the
something
easiest.
on 50. Hovers. Okay, I thought I saw boots. Okay. Um,
Those are needed hover
those
boots,
are,
so
yeah.
we're getting
So,
50.
50 Skull Seed. Once again, welcome to ZSR Ocarina of Time Randomizer After Dark, everyone. So what do you think when you see a Skull Seed when you're playing? I mean, I know you don't play a whole lot nowadays, but like...
Me personally, I like skulls. And knowing you need 50 early, generally preferable to something more ambiguous
Yeah.
like a bow or something, or a hook
Mm-hmm.
shot with a stone wad or something like that. Like something like that is kind of like, do you force skulls with hover boots? I guess the real question is like how hard are we gonna be forcing skulls? I would guess with hover boots, probably not super hard, but you never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes Shadow will lock the whole seed.
Yeah. To me, I'm looking at, okay, Shadow is our light medallion, which does not lock any songs or dungeon access.
Oh yeah, that's a good
But
point.
I'm also gonna be looking at what do the path hints start looking at. Do I get a bongo hint at all? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because if your paths are starting to show that you don't have a bongo hint, that makes it more likely that those hovers are going to be important early.
Yeah, well, we have water in DC as our bridge medallion, so there's definitely a chance of like long shot being in shadow that's not super uncommon.
Yep.
So, like that sort of thing could definitely like be a big key to the race. If you
Yep.
do see a bongo hint though, then like the likelihood of shadow having anything drops dramatically.
Yep. Exactly. And Big Goron is dead. Heaps checked that earlier, but I don't think we said it. And yes, bombs were right up there in Upper River. And I would expect Heaps to go up due to Dongo's Cavern in this adult segment. I'm not sure how far you take those bombs, though. Because you can't really get many songs.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you see in DC. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think if you have a way to get the DMC song, like I think it's a pretty good idea to just go up there as soon as possible. You never know what could be. Could be ZL, and
Mm-hmm.
like having ZL when you first go child can be huge. Especially since you already have storms. So
Yeah. If you pick up a way to get the Crater song, he would definitely do that.
yeah.
I
But
don't
if
know
you
if you go to
don't,
Sacred Forest Meadow. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's a
It's
tough
hard.
choice. That's a
It's
tough
tough.
choice.
It's
Like,
especially tough knowing that 2 of your warp songs, you already know where those are, right?
yeah. You know you're not going to get Prelude to make your warp easier. Though I guess you could get Requiem. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. It's a tough choice.
Yep. Chimp having some trouble with these chickens. So, for those of you who might not know this, because it's shocking to me how many people don't know this, the Navi indicator will go above any chicken that you have already touched. That timer there, I know it freaks us out.
Yeah, I think
But
there's another like hint. There's like the chickens that you need to collect are like slightly lower on the floor or something like that.
yeah, they like dip lower when they're pecking.
Yeah. there, there's like really minor tells. I never know. I just kind of I do know the ZL one where I'm like, okay, I picked that one up because it has an indicator on it. But
Yep.
you just once you get down to less than 10 seconds, you just kind of start, and you have like
You
one or
panic.
two left. You start panicking.
Yep. You just need to read the chicken vibe, which is evil. Because they are birds.
Yeah, birds are jerks.
Yep. Big Pose is a bomb bag as well.
Interesting.
Decker going Valley.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which one is which on my stream. I'm looking at one or two. Four. I'm not used to 4 people.
Top right is
Yeah.
Decker. And there was a strength in the crate there.
Ooh.
That could be really big for Decker. Spirit is a stone. Forest is a stone. So largely we do not need strengths required. But water could put a little hinge in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think early strength you generally want to see, especially if Decker doesn't end up going river and finding that bomb bag.
Yep.
Having that strength to let you do stuff in DC can be big.
Could be logically required. That crate is Sphere 0. You can get it with nothing. But yeah, we'll see. That is the only dungeon currently that could trip things up, but Ganon's could be available early this seed. We don't know yet. No, the river bomb bag is not in logic. We would need, at minimum, what? A hook shot, a bottle, and boomerang to get it without bombs.
Without bombs, yeah, bombs locks a lot of skulls, so you need quite a bit for that. I don't my skull math is more like vibes than anything else, so I don't know exactly what items put what in logic, but I'll like if I see the items, I'm like 50's in logic now.
Yeah. That's probably like... Oh, Kokiri Forest to Evil's Bane.
Interesting. Have we seen Midos yet?
We have not.
It's like I feel like we haven't seen it yet.
Okay, Temple of Time to Volvagia is very interesting. That could be a song, or it could be Lax. And Lax has been another of those checks that has randomly had items this week.
Mm-hmm. That also means that the Nocturne song, I don't know if we saw a hint for that, but the Nocturne song is not required for the bridge, so that can be big news.
Yep. That was a path hint on Medigoron and I missed it. I think it was something to Morpha. Mark it to Morpha. Okay. Thank you, Kirby.
Yeah, no, falling 4 screens is hard, so anyone who catches these things, please, we appreciate it.
I know. My early days as a tracker, I was always assigned the bottom right tracker, and I quickly learned why. It's because comms pay almost no attention to that runner.
I'm trying my best.
But... I know. I'm always like, when I started doing commentary, I was like, I am not gonna ignore that runner. And it's amazing how easy it is to start just like brain holing one of the 4 runners. I know I'm a comm. I'm supposed to ignore all of their... Oh, you're right, You're right. I will happily just talk about recipes.
Ooh. I like recipes.
What mac and cheese are you making in a couple weeks?
I'm not sure. We haven't really talked about it yet. But it's not going to be buffalo mac and cheese, I can tell you that, because that's what we had last time.
Okay. Okay. Market still path to Morpha. Okay.
Nice.
There's 2
we
copies.
We haven't seen anything in market, right?
Nope, we have not seen any market yet. But Big Pose is hinted, obviously, so it's not that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it technically could be. We don't know. It'd be crazy if it was, but it technically could be.
It can't be if it's hinted.
Oh, right. It can't be what's path. Sorry.
Yeah. We're good.
I haven't played in a while. I'm forgetting things.
Skull Mask is fire arrows. Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. I know
you're guaranteed dins. So
exactly. It's like
that
you're gonna find dins.
But dins does... Fire arrows would hard lock dins in exactly 1 location, and it is not hinted foolish.
Yeah, I mean, Wasteland is a check you need a fire source and magic for.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible. I don't think I would go get fire arrows just for that check. At least not right now.
No, what I would do is I would pick up Keaton Mask my first time as child in market. And you're going to pick up Nocturne, so I would at least turn it in.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, when you go through market, definitely at least buy the Keaton Mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
A hook shot. Interesting. Okay, we'll see what's in the other 2 checks here. Coherent Forest is path to Evil's Bane.
Evil's Bane. So that does mean that hook shot can be path to Evil's Bane.
Yes, correct. It can eat a hook shot. Yep.
Yeah. Water is a stone, or is a bridge medallion, so, you know, they're on the same path, so they can share items between them.
Yep. Okay, honestly, though, give me a gloopy mac and cheese. I want a lot of sauce on my mac and cheese.
We generally do it casserole style when we're doing like the bigger ones. But we'll sometimes just do like pasta with like a cheese sauce. Just a boiled cheese sauce. Occasionally with meals, so.
And we saw this hint already as well. Horseback archery, functionally dead.
Rip that big Goron sword.
Yeah, no one's going out of their way for that big Goron sword. I am not hungry, actually. I have some of my Christmas cookies with me that I may snack on. But I'm also in what I call trash compactor mode, where you try to get rid of everything that's in the fridge before you leave for an extended period of time. Yeah, happy birthday, Kryl.
Oh yeah, it is Kryle's birthday. Happy birthday.
It's Kryl's birthday. There
For
was a
another like
request
40
for
minutes.
Big Chungus on Restream. That did not happen. I am sorry, but, you know, can't win them all. I am not in college, Mr. Moxie. I am just an adult who does that as well. Alright, Hookshot is our path to Evil's Bane. Oh.
Ooh, a
Okay,
boomerang.
so our Hookshot and our Boomerang, our 50 hovers is getting closer.
Yeah, I mean, really, like just a bottle. I think, will get you most of the way there. I think.
Our songs do not give us what we need, though.
Yeah,
I think that's the big holdup now. Yeah, you're right, Tobias. I work at a university, so I am sort of in college, but not at
You
all.
go to a college
I go
every
to a
day.
college every weekday.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We still, until you don't see the bongo hint, I'm still not like super gonna push 50.
Yeah. 30 skulls was the scale, Tomo.
30 is definitely in logic with this though.
Yes. And our child spawn was out at fishing, but I didn't get a look at the Rudo's letter spot. Oh, 40 is 20 chews? I think everyone's picking those up when they pick up their hovers, honestly.
Probably.
Yeah, Cindy, that's kind of what we're talking about. If we see a bongo hint, we're not as concerned about gathering the 50 fast.
Yeah,
If there,
because like, wait, if you know bongo isn't gonna lock like half your dungeons, then you know you're less concerned about going to get those hovers early. But
mm-hmm.
if it is locking half your dungeons, then you're a little bit more concerned.
Yep. Heaps not going to die in Dodongo's cavern.
That's good.
If anyone here is like me and is bad at this game, there is a fairy in a pot back here that it... Oh, I thought Heaps was going for the fairy, but he's going for the skull. Makes more sense.
Maybe Heaps doesn't know about that fairy. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
That's
I don't know
true.
if that
Yeah.
one's a super well-known one.
Well, who's dying in Dodongo's cavern as adult, right?
Yeah.
That is true. That 30 scale should be available
Yeah,
between the hook shot and the ring.
I'm pretty sure 30 is now in logic, which would mean that bomb bag is in logic.
Yep. As well as the bow in graveyard.
Yeah. Again, my... Oh, Heaps is getting the fairy. Nice job,
Hey,
Heaps.
let's go, Heaps. Heaps took a hiatus from playing S7 last year, so happy to see him back. Oh, and a bomb-locked scale.
Oh, there's another scale.
Intrigue.
I don't think that matters that much. Like I said, I'm pretty confident 30 is in logic, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Yep. Fishing, Jimbo.
Nice slingshot.
Getting that hookshot and that rang, you know, sub 30 minutes makes that skull collecting much nicer.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
if you're gonna have a 50 skull seed, this is about what you hope.
Yeah, the worst is when you're like trying to scrounge 50 skulls without a hookshot. It's just it can get messy.
Yep. Alright, I didn't pay attention to any of these hints when Decker got them. Okay. Frogs 2, dead. Nice, nice.
That's good. Yeah. I do wonder though, you got hook, you got a strength. You know where the bow is, or Decker's even getting this bow. Do you go forest here?
Ooh, lullaby there. That lullaby is not in logic, just to harp on that a wee bit. I think if you're a Decker, you definitely do courtyard.
Yeah. No, I definitely think you at least want the skulls in forest. They're the first 4 at least are quick enough.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is not AD for forest access. Yeah, Jimbo, that is the one trick that I think everyone needs to throw that boomerang. Very few people YOLO it, as far as I can see.
Yeah, no, there's like I use like a Link's ear, I think is what I use. I forget.
Yeah,
exactly.
I use his
It's been
hat.
a while.
Yeah. Oh. Little bonk there from Heaps, so we'll see. Levi is dipping into forest here. Not too surprising because there are easily accessible skulls.
Yeah.
I would say the tricky thing is remembering that logic. Not necessarily for the skulls. And Oot is Bolero.
Okay. Well, Bolero's not really a big deal because we know where hovers are.
Yeah. And we won't need that. We won't need that skull for
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah. That Bolero is not going to be hard required.
Yep.
Especially when we already have hook and boomerang. So.
Yep. But I do think that it's, you know, keep in mind that that lullaby is out of logic currently. You can do a lot of checks in well that you can't without lullaby. All of the, you know, fairy fountains, obviously. So just trying to keep that in mind while thinking about skulls in particular is tough.
Yeah. Although I honestly I feel like given what we know about the songs, like Forest Access almost has to be on Bolero check. Like where there's not that many songs left.
Yeah, which is fully available. Yeah, Iron's pretty straightforward path to Morpha.
Yeah.
You kind of like that, though. Heaps hasn't gotten the hookshot yet, but that hookshot being path to Evil's Bane, you know, at least you're not gonna have to hunt for that. Just the other one.
Yeah.
But also, having a very straightforward path like that increases the risk of orphaning something if there were another check that had an item.
Yeah. I think
Like,
the big issue with having the Iron Boots path to Morpha be something super straightforward like this is now it's like, where can Longshot be? Well, most places.
Almost anywhere. What are the path hints that we have so far? Evil's Bane, Morpha, Wolf.
I believe it's just those 3. I don't remember seeing another one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, this is like worst case scenario with paths. There are 7 paths that are, you know, potentially hintable and only 5 slots.
Yeah.
So it's the maximum option for the, you know, rando to generate hints for. We don't have all of the info yet. It could be that Prelude is still required, you know. That scale does give us access to Jabu if we find those other items, so it could be that Prelude is our forest access for that ZL.
Oh, lens and magic early. Can do treasure chest game already.
Yeah, that's nice. Double magic, too. Valley to KD.
Valley to KD.
So,
Interesting. I wonder if
this
that
is
strength.
probably a bomb bag here. Do we have a bomb locked key? Might have rolled this seed.
So I'm guessing it's just that strength. I'm guessing that bomb bag, that like we actually need to get 30 for that scale to get that bomb bag. Is what my guess would be, that the strength gets us enough skulls to get up to 30.
That does get us, let's see, 1, 2, 3 into Dongo's Cavern. Is that is the fourth one in logic if you go back?
One song, I assume we have.
It was Nocturne.
Nocturne, okay. It is very hard keeping track of our screen.
Yeah, Nocturne, nice for movement. I'm sure Heaps is thinking about that here. As he's in ranch near nighttime, do I play that? Go check Dampe. Levi is the only one currently that picked up that lullaby, which could be big. Could give him an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, having a lullaby for a child is can definitely be something, especially if he ends up doing well. Because we have seen well, but there's 2 checks that because I'm pretty sure the 2 we saw were both dead.
Yes,
but there's still the 2 in the back that could potentially be something. And they're pretty easily orphanable if you go there early.
Bomb locked strength, not too surprising since we have a strength path.
Would still make sense with that path, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the other strength was in Valley. Valley's hinted path to KD. So I imagine most people are gonna go get it. Once they see the hint, at least.
Yep. Chimp doing back of lake hints? Do we think he does all of them or just the one?
I don't know. I'm personally a fan if you're getting the skull of just doing this hint before you leave, but we'll see. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't like back of lake hints though. So it's different. It's different Chuckles because he only did the one. So like getting that hint with that skull is fine. Irons are unbunkable. Really matters. It's when you just go lake for no reason and then get both the hints and then leave. That's when something's wrong.
Alright, Chimp also gonna use Boomerang to pick this up, which is good. Picking up a bean and planting the bean and going back and riding the bean. Very slow by comparison.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you gotta, like, go there as child, and then go back there as adult. It's just like...
Yeah.
It's not as bad when you have Nocturne here, but it's still...
Yeah. I saw someone set this up with just a, like, Kokiri crouch stab into the wall, and I was like, if you have Kokiri's sword, that's so nice.
No, I feel like...
He's hopping too far, right?
No, I think he's aiming a little too high, or at least it's higher than the setup I use. Giving
Okay.
up.
What I am seeing is him hopping 3 times instead of 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the setup I know is only 2 hops.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he made it all the way to the corner on that one, and that's... But the aiming is also a problem.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
line
what
up
I
his...
thought. It was a little too high.
I have had 2 heights work successfully, though, which is kind of weird for a setup like that. But some people use, like, the ear with the tree line, right? And some people use the hat with one of the windmill... What are they called?
Yeah, I do the ear with
Fans?
the tree line. I don't...
Turbines?
Turbines? Yeah, turbine sounds right. That sounds like a fancy word.
Yeah. Oh, Levi is gonna go into domain.
Interesting.
It's a bow. Tomo.
Yeah, it's not like super needed, especially with Forest as a stone, but it's like, it's definitely something you would like to have.
Yeah. You need it eventually.
Alright, Decker gonna get this this bomb bag. Will probably be
Yeah.
pretty annoyed at not going river early, to be honest.
Yes and no. Because these are skulls that the other runners that did go river earlier probably will not be getting.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So it just depends, like, the trade-off on the skull routing, you can get 2 of them here. Like, that's not bad to add into getting the bomb bag. Sails or blades? Thank you, Fennel.
Alright, I wonder what's in... Domain is definitely one of those things where it's like, if it is something, it's generally pretty huge. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't like to do those checks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Unless it's hinted and then everyone's going there, of
Yeah.
course, but the
Yeah,
random
or if
time
you
that
have
it's
like
like,
Jabu kit early, something like that. But
yeah.
one of the big things that you see a lot is if letter specifically is in domain, like a lot of people will not get that.
I was gonna say hook shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this case we already have a hook shot. If it's long shot, people end
Yeah.
up getting it eventually.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like to go to domain without the letter, at least. So
Yeah. Well, today those people are mostly
they're
rewarded.
pretty happy about their decision today with nothing in child domain.
So let's talk some lore for a second, Bear.
Lore, all right.
Lore, as I see a Zora do what I hate and just appear from nowhere. Do Zora have camouflage? Because they do this in
Probably.
Lake, too.
Yeah,
That
so
Zora just kind
they
of
can
shows up.
they're like sponges. They can choose to absorb the water to get big.
So, like, the natural state of a Zora is like a sea monkey?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Frogs one. Have we seen Frogs one?
No. We have a hint that Frogs 2 is dead. Yeah, Purple, that is an interesting one. Child spawn being in domain kind of sucks. Because you can do one of the checks. The other one you have to farm money for.
Yeah, the money issue is the thing where you're just like, do I really want to like leave and then come back? And it's not like awful farming money. You can do like the blue rupee pot right outside of the shop 4 times, but it's
Yeah.
not like fast. The
Yeah.
worst part is when you go up to do it without having farmed the money, and then you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I've
right.
done that before.
This is a thing that I need for these checks. Yeah, it's so interesting how those small decisions play out. Because then it's like, of course I did domain checks. My spawn isn't domain. Did you, though? Are
Yeah.
ya sure, buddy?
Um, sorry, I'm just I think we've seen all of what's been happening so right now, so I guess Heaps is going Valley here. This bow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm.
It's like Levi wants that bow. Oh no, Levi doesn't have a boomerang.
So, yeah, he bought a bean, though.
Oh, bought a bean. Okay. I
So
missed that
Chimp's
part.
showing us that there are plenty of ways to do any given trick. Because
Yeah.
Chimp both aimed higher than I have seen most players and jumped right more times, but got it. GG's.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta get it in the right spot when it's coming back. It's like well, it's kind of like one of those that the Valley Crate with bomb choose setups where it's like there's
Mm-hmm.
as many different setups as there are people who play
Mm-hmm.
for that trick because it's just the bomb chew explosion is so big that you don't have to be super precise with your setup for it.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think? What is the most forgiving hitbox in this entire game? I'll go first if you want.
Forgiving hitbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
You know that bombable wall at the start of Shadow?
Yeah,
I feel like if you drop a bomb anywhere in that room, that thing
yeah.
explodes.
It's one of those things. It's like the bomb hitbox is like actually massive.
Mm-hmm.
It's why you see a bunch of tricks. Like for instance, with Decker and DC hammering the like Dodongo King Dodongo floor is like
Mm-hmm.
really hard as with the hammer and like just insanely easy with the bomb. It's just because like the hitbox of the bomb explosion is massive. So like
Mm-hmm.
anything with like a bomb explosion is generally gonna like work pretty easily. All
Sculpt
right,
Kid
so
is dead. I'm sure we've seen that, but
oh, Skull Kid, right? I was like,
yeah.
I thought Skull Mask was something. All right, they're
Skull
different
Mask is
jacks.
fire arrows.
But Levi got a horse there. Not super useful right now as child, but
See that? This is what I mean when I say keeping track of that forest logic is what kind of screws people up most. Because you can easily take that horse into GTG.
yeah,
Totally out of logic. Think, without a second guess. All of this is fine and available. And it's not.
yeah. Do we know what's on Nocturne right now? I don't think we do.
I don't think we've seen that hint. Or we have not acknowledged it, anyway.
Yeah, because if we basically if a forest song is on Nocturne, then like there's a pretty good chance that um like your forest axis can actually be pretty far back in the seed.
It can't
Um,
be. Because we had a Volve hint.
well, Nocturne doesn't lock. Oh, I mean, I guess right water temple. Oh,
I mean, you could have a ZL-less water.
Well,
You could.
it's possible.
It is possible. Not probable, but
No.
possible.
I mean, that's like realistically, forest access is probably just in DMC, but like, you know, you never know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about our Temple of Time path, it's for Volve, which means pretty unlikely it would be SFM access. Just because Volve is not a bridge medallion. But again, it's still possible.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing we have seen so far. But there are only 2 checks in water available without Lullaby. Well, logically.
You can actually do like 5 or 6 checks, depending on keys.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do like 5 or 6 checks in water without ZL.
Yeah.
But yeah, only 2 are in logic. Alright, so I think I'm definitely... What song is here in DMC, I think is gonna mean a lot for what our options are going forward. Because if this is just forest access, and then suddenly, you know, GTG is just wide open.
Mm-hmm.
If it isn't, then we got more stuff to think about.
Just a hard on adult shooting today. Sorry,
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, I kind of figured. It made more sense for this to be forest access than anything else.
Yeah.
Alright, and we can do a lot of things in GTG right now. Well, maybe some people can't, but some people can.
Yeah, I would say that strength being in... The 2 strengths that we have seen so far are both bad, right? But at least one is hinted.
Yeah.
Because Hyrule Castle Fairy is not a check that people like to do, and very easy to forget about doing.
The main issue is just with where ZL is located. If you don't have ZL in Child 1, like, you're not gonna get ZL at the minuet check and be like, all right, time to go do Din's Fairy. That's not on the top of your mind when that happens.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, that bomb bag just reinforces like that strength is definitely path for skull logic to get 30 skulls. So, which we were pretty sure about. It's hard for KD hints to be super ambiguous. So it's like it has to lock a bomb bag. So
I mean, we could remove some of the tricks and make, you know, slingshot or
remove
bow.
Remove the jump with nothing in BC.
Yeah.
Oh no. Suddenly we have hovers path to KD.
Yeah. Shadow Raven 30 Skulls is a Zora scale, as the command just showed. It gets us access to River to pick up a bomb bag in there.
Yeah, and we've seen all the other scale and all the bomb bags, so we know 100% that is what the path is.
Yeah. Chuckles, you can do child DC all you want. I support you. I love watching runners do child DC.
Yeah.
It's very rare that they do it, and usually it's only the back half.
Yeah, you just gotta remember, if bomb shoes are your logical source, you need a stick to get through the back.
Yeah.
If you don't have a strength to do a bomb jump as child, you need a stick.
Thanks, Chuckles. In my defense, I was not watching any of the runners because I was grabbing a chip.
I'm in DC.
Oh, just the staircase.
It's the staircase. It just took me a while. I'm like, there's no bow tricks in DC.
Sure there are.
I haven't played enough. I forget these things.
That was one of the few tricks that I felt good at when I started, because I got it very consistently when I started playing Rando.
Yeah, that one's not super difficult. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you just gotta know which bombs to aim at, really.
It's just kind of like, I mean, you've seen me do HBA. I can't aim.
Yeah, well, luckily the bomb hitboxes are not small.
Yeah.
I'm not good at HBA either, so it's okay.
I mean, I'm still okay at it, top wall. I just don't play as often anymore. I think the last time I streamed Rando was like July.
And that's more recent than me.
But I did walk some people through Saws recently.
Nice. I like Sauce. It's pretty good. Pretty good setting. If I do say so.
Silvers for Levi.
Yeah, Levi probably the only one, at least on Restream, who's gonna have silvers anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. So, what you were asking about earlier, Decker is able... Oh, Decker did not pick up the bow yet. Did Decker?
Yeah.
No.
I thought Decker did.
He just didn't mark it on his personal tracker.
I was like, I could have swore I saw Decker in the graveyard with the boomerang out.
This is why our trackers are amazing, because they track better than the runners themselves. Like Heaps, who didn't even bother to put up a tracker today. So apologies to whoever is tracking him.
Yeah, trackers are really helpful, especially when you're trying to look at 4 screens at the same time. It's very easy to miss.
Yeah.
Literally anything that happens.
Yeah.
We really appreciate what you do.
I think Heaps is probably going to blame his new computer, but he's had it long enough that he should have set up a tracker by now.
I mean, Heaps is gonna blame all sorts of things. It's Heaps.
He'll blame me!
Yeah. Oh no, Decker just didn't get the bow. I could have sworn. Like, there's no reason you would play Song of Time.
You play Song of Time instead of just shoot the eye. Yeah. Did I hallucinate? He was doing the setup, right?
I thought... I mean, maybe I'm confusing a different screen with Decker's screen, because I could have swore Decker was in the graveyard with the boomerang out.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. He definitely was in Child Graveyard because he picked up a skull. Did Dompe. I actively remember those things. And Heap's gonna break into domain with the chicken. Or not. We're not breaking into domain with the chicken. Oh.
I think he's just trying to save it so he can read this hint.
And get the skull. He read the hint as adult.
Oh yeah, for the skull. Yeah.
Oh, he had trouble with the ring strat? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my stream quality's been on and off today, so I definitely missed that part. Yeah, Doc not going to be very happy with the nothing that he's going to find here in Domain.
Well, he can do Jabu, so...
Oh,
he'll be okay.
I totally missed he had the letter. When did that happen?
Just a couple minutes ago.
Okay, Doc not going to be disappointed because he gets to do Jabu in Child 1, which is pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this has been a long child segment for him.
Hyrule Field Scrubs. Okay, so the south grotto. Okay. I just completely missed that. Thank you.
That is not the worst check for people who do not have it yet, but it's also not a nice check for people who have not done it yet.
Yeah, the thing with Field, it's like, I feel like Field is one of those areas where you either do it really early, or you, like, don't do it till super late. And it just depends, especially with where Serenade is. It's just one of those things where it's like, if you don't do it early, you're probably just not gonna do it for a very long time.
Chimp, gonna check these hints here, it looks like.
Interesting. I mean, I do think it's fair given, you kind of want to know how much you want to push your hovers. If you see a duplicate path hint, then, like, you're probably pushing those hovers very quickly.
Yeah.
And by duplicate, I mean a second hint for the same boss.
Right.
Because that means that we don't have the full 7 possible path chains to generate. I don't know what to call it.
So the way I talk about it is goals are what the paths are too. Okay. And then the win-con category is the overarching type of that goal.
Okay, yeah. Like, I have it in my head, I just explaining it is harder than thinking about it. I'm trying to think of what song is going to be on Prelude. I think it's got to be a Warp song, right?
Yes, we have all of our child songs. Well, no one has all of them, but we know where they all are.
Yeah, so it's got to be what?
Composer Grave.
It's like Requiem or Minuet, I guess?
Yeah.
If I'm remembering things correctly. You really want to see Requiem because then you get Prelude and you're not upset about going child anymore.
Yep.
Alright, so Chimp does have the bow here going into Forest.
Yep.
So that's a decision you gotta... I'm interested to see it's how deep you end up going into Forest here.
Minuet on Burning Cack.
Okay, well that
That's
means
nice.
that's good for Heaps here. Gonna get Requiem once he's done with Jabu.
Yep. And more importantly, I think you play it and pick up Prelude.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Although
not
I guess
super.
the issue is you have to go adult first to
Yeah.
get the song. It's the sad walk to Temple of Time so you can get Prelude. So also Requiem on Prelude song. That's Path to Volvagia though.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it has to be for the hammer. We know. Oh, I guess it could be. We don't have Tunic logic yet sorted out, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like we have everything. Well, we don't have everything.
Yeah, I'm really curious what our last path is at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's either like completely useless or extremely useful. Because if it's just like field path to Jabu, it's like
Mm-hmm.
okay, yep. But if it's not, if it's something like I don't know, like another path to Morpha or something, it could be big.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead. I was gonna say Heap's finally getting to a check in Jabu because it takes forever.
Does carrying Princess Ruto around count as a block pushing puzzle?
I mean, there's no blocks.
It is one of the worst escort missions of all time.
I don't know. At least you can backwalk with Rudo on
True.
you. Like you can go kind of fast with Rudo. Not like the ones where you're just like literally walking next to someone and you're just kind of waiting for them to get to where they need to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Almost a 2-nut there, Doc. But it's like a 6-nut now. Oh, nothing so far in Jabu. Chimp coming up to this decision point in Forest. Do you keep going? Do you
I
stop?
think
You've got
Chimp
all the
keeps
fast
going.
skills. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's definitely a play to make continuing in Stone Forest, and I don't hate it.
Yep. I think Chimp is gonna keep going. For most of the runners, there's not great direction, unfortunately. Levi has picked up the letter, so is also going to do Jabu.
Yeah. Honestly, Levi is in a pretty good position right now.
Mm-hmm.
With this 2 strengths.
All right. Ranch to Bongo for Nocturne.
Ranch.
So
Okay.
there's nothing in there.
So that, yeah. Now it's
Not
it's
nothing,
nice.
but
It's nice because it's like Kokiri Sword can be in Shadow Temple at this
yeah,
point.
exactly.
um but like it's so you're not like gonna push 50 at all, but also like you also don't get any information, like you don't get much out of that. You're just like, okay, Shadow's useless, got it.
Yeah.
Now I need to
Well,
find where the heck this long shot is.
yeah. I think the biggest thing is it means you don't really need to stress about hunting skulls. You're gonna
Yeah,
be able to do that throughout your dungeons as you're doing them. And that's the biggest piece of info. Unfortunately, it's coming after an hour. Decker's already at 22 or 23 skulls. Um, Typically, I have heard that the, like top runners, maybe a little after the 2 hour mark, you're gonna have 50.
yeah. Like I said, it depends on how hard you end up pushing it, but yeah, right around 2 hours. For 50 when you're not like super duper want to put pushing it, like is pretty fair. But yeah, you definitely would have wanted to see that a little earlier, but I don't know. I don't think anyone was really super pushing hovers anyways. It's
No.
not. No. Especially you don't have dins. You're just kind of like, I can get to 50 when I get to 50. But having the hint, at least uh you know that like you can kind of casually keep going in your skulls.
Hmm.
So it does look like Chimp is continuing here in Forest. Um
Yeah.
and I
It
think
might
is
just be getting this
solid.
skull, but I doubt it. If I were Chimp, I'd keep going.
Yeah. So like if he did the trick to the like recoil strat to get over here, I would be like probably not gonna continue and
Push
just
the
go for this
block,
goal.
10 name.
But like he went down through the hole, so like he's committed.
Yeah.
The worst room in Jabu for heaps right now.
That room is
This room
honestly
sucks.
terrible. Yeah. That
It's just
Octorok, if that Octorok didn't exist. Oh.
leaving.
I thought Heaps was missing that platform because he targeted that enemy.
You're getting the box. Gotta get your safety box. It's nice. We like the box here. People who skip the box are kind of rude, to be honest.
Yeah, the box was put there for a reason.
Yeah, it just wants to have friends. But Chimp did leave Forest Temple. I'm a little surprised on that. It
Hmm.
did seem like he was going to keep going, but I think they're both defensible options, so
Maybe
not
it's
necessarily a
this.
bad choice.
Where is.
Yeah, the thing with Chimp's current loadout is like Chimp is missing bombs, which is pretty big. Um, Bombs locks the irons, which isn't huge, but something to think
Hmm.
about. Um, doesn't have this letter. Like, I think
Yeah,
Chimp really needs to go river and get this bomb bag. Uh,
yeah, definitely. So, Minuet is on Burning Cack,
yes.
which locks our lullaby.
No. Sorry, is Oxer Lullaby.
Oh, yeah, yep. Sorry. I saw Chimp pick up.
Ooh,
I saw.
Carry Sword on 20.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
That's
nice that you didn't get a Goma hint then, honestly.
yeah. That's everyone's gonna be getting that. When they get it, that's a more interesting decision. You're going to 50. Like you know
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
When do you turn in 10 and 20? Because I'm pretty sure everyone at this point has 20 skulls.
Yeah.
But like how when do you because I don't know how urgent people are gonna be like, I wanna go turn in these 20 skulls that I have.
Yeah. Well, Decker's gonna do it here after picking up this bow and doing archery.
Or should do it.
Should do it. Should do it. Um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
going in here for these rupees, so definitely will be doing it.
Yeah. People who pick that up around now are going to be much happier because of these skulls in Deku, which you can get all of.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's some nice fast skulls. You probably don't bother with the slow one in the back of Deku, but
yeah.
maybe.
Keeping track of your skull logic, you might be thinking, where are the rest of my 50? You might think 20.
Yeah, I guess it depends really on if you have this letter or not. Because like
Mm-hmm.
once you have the letter, you can just start doing the bottle skulls, which will gets you most of the way to that to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Like and with the new, well, not so new anymore, but like the speed up on the soil patch skulls, they come out instantly instead of waiting 3 seconds. They're
Mm-hmm.
not as terrible to go get, so.
True. Is that on Fennel's branch?
Yeah, I mean, that's on every branch. Alright, Chimp is gonna get this bomb bag here, which is big. Probably upset of not having gone river sooner, but, you know, it happens.
Did Heaps
Um,
think he had 30 skulls? I'm confused. Picked up that K-sword, though.
yeah. K-Sword's big. The thing with Heaps here is Heaps is child, so that means he's probably just gonna go do Deku right now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, turning into a very long child one for Heaps. Gonna do Jabu and Deku in one child segment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, this is a skull. I'm like, where are you going, Heaps? This is the skull.
Yep. I will say Levi also has had very long, both adult and child ones. Seems to be taking kind of a completionist approach to each of these segments.
Yeah, and I do think it has helped him quite a bit. He's the only
Mm-hmm.
one who has strength 2, the only one likely to get strength. Currently
Mm,
has strength 2 and no one else on restraint. Or no, oh, Decker has
Decker
it.
picks
I
up.
didn't
Yep.
notice that. But like Doc has 0 strengths.
Yep.
Uh and certainly isn't getting the strength um on in Din's Ferry anytime soon.
No. Doesn't even have Lullaby yet to do so.
Yeah, no, this child, that's the one thing, his child's going so long
Mm-hmm.
um that like
He's missing stuff.
yeah, he's like he's definitely not going to go back. He's got a for Doc's sake. I hope that Strength 2 doesn't lock anything because Doc is not going to go get that Strength 2 anytime soon.
Yeah, that Requiem is a little scary on the Strength 2 front.
Yeah, especially it's Path to Evolve. But it's like when you after you've basically full clear child except for like 2 checks, like you're not gonna go back just to do Din's Ferry.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like Chimp is gonna go get these fire arrows.
Interesting. I mean, they are usable. Chimp did do Composer Grave as adult. Oh. All right.
Yeah, I guess this makes sense because he is also going to do Deku.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make sense to just, especially since he had already turned in Keaton Mask, to just pick up the Skull Mask and get it on your way over here.
Yep. Just a bottle on Lab Dive there.
That is useful for Decker. Does not have what's it, Rudo's letter.
Mm-hmm.
That will probably be getting it shortly, but can get the bottle skulls without having to go turn in letter first.
Yeah. Do it
Slightly
on the
better
way.
routing, yeah.
Yeah, Decker picking that sword up as an adult is not going there right away, which I do think is going to pay out. Big chest here. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's something.
That's a thing that might be required.
I mean, yeah, it could be logically required. I don't think any runner on Restream is going to care about that. I'm sorry, I just got scared. I saw Chloe was stretching out on next to the window. Chloe's my cat for reference. I just saw this black shape stretch in the corner of my eye.
Levi also gonna be picking up those fire arrows by the look of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if Wasteland is something, that's it's pretty big. We'll see. I'm guessing Decker's going to be going GTG here. See.
Probably. It might depend on what happens when he picks up letter.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure how much you want to prioritize going. Maybe. I don't know. I could see the letter's the one thing. Like maybe you see letter and you're like, Jabu is forest med. Maybe I should go do that, but.
Right.
Blue fire arrows on top of lab.
Oh. Well, that's nice. I don't think you're finishing ice today, but it is 3 quick skulls with blue fire arrows.
I mean, Serenade's not awful. We do have to do water. I don't hate the ice play in the seed, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think we have a hint for the final check in there.
No, I believe it's just for the song. We'll see. Decker gets this letter. Is he going to continue to GTG here, or I could see just finishing up field and then going child. But we'll see.
Not finishing up field.
Nope, just going straight to GTG.
Levi hasn't even been to ranch yet.
Yeah, I mean, Levi had a very long adult one, and then has had a pretty long child one as well.
Yeah. I would be surprised if Levi picks up 30 already having a scale, but he might.
I mean, you already have irons and hook. There's really no reason to pick up a scale, though. I mean, I guess if you're already in there checking 10 and 20, maybe.
Yeah. Yep, just the Zora tunic in Deku today.
Not particularly useful, so.
Yeah.
You know, Decker's not really going to be punished for picking up that Kokiri sword as adult.
Mm-hmm.
You also already know that the Nocturne song isn't relevant. It's just Minuet. We already have Sarias. So we'll see if GTG has anything. Decker is able to full clear it, which is very nice. We still need long shot and we still need dims and light arrows, which are somewhere in the shot off.
And hammer.
Oh,
which
and
is
hammer.
somewhere. It could just be behind light arrow cutscene. It could be behind Requiem. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, we do know Requiem is the prelude song. That's about all we know on that path.
Well, this is why the boomerang is terrible. It's a good thing he already got the island skull.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Boomerang
he didn't.
can be pretty slow.
One other thing, this seed gave us suns nice and early, which is the one time you like suns as for skull seeds.
Yeah, it's nice when you gotta get 50 just to not have to worry about time of day. So realistically, like you can get good time of day if you're paying attention for most of the skulls. It's just a bit harder.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't think we've seen this Tectite Grotto yet. And it's nothing.
Another bow on the fortress rooftop.
Alright.
I don't think Chimp has letter, but seems to be going into domain. Which is unfortunate because
He's right next to letter.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is as close you can be.
Right. As close
He's gonna get a strength.
While being as far away as you can be.
Oh, I guess Chimp is going this way to Forest. Oh, I guess Chimp missed the adult jump, river jump. So he's getting this bomb bag.
Nice recoil from Decker there. Oh.
That strat always feels good when you nail it. You're just like, look at me, I'm really good at this game. Even though it's not true, I'm not really good at this game.
It feels like you are.
Yeah, exactly.
$22 skulls for Levi.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping count. I know they're all in the 20s or 30s at this point, but...
Yeah, I think Decker is farthest ahead on skull collecting, but none of them are behind quote-unquote pace of where you would want to be. At minimum here.
Yeah. Again, with what we know about Shadow Temple, it's not gonna lock. I actually don't even think. I guess it could lock Hammer technically if it's just Tunic logic in Temple of Time, but Shadow's probably empty.
Yeah. I mean, we still need to find Din, so that could be hanging out in Spirit Temple.
Ooh, there's one.
Long shot, that's nice.
All right, so that might be bad news for Heaps.
Yeah.
I don't know when Heaps is getting Strength 2. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Chimp has ZL. Or no, Chimp does. So maybe Chimp will decide to do Din's Ferry before he goes at all.
Yeah.
But Doc is not going back for Din's Ferry anytime soon. He's got to hope there's another Strength somewhere.
Yeah.
As far as Doc is concerned, he's like, I pretty much full cleared Child. There's like 2 checks that he can't get right now left.
Right, exactly. And he'll be picking up the song for that, so there's hope. Ganon's castle not quite open. We haven't found our light arrows yet.
Yeah, we do know they're hookshot locked. That long shot is hookshot locked, so they just have to be locked by hookshot 1. Yeah, Ganon's not super likely to have anything at this point.
Yeah. Like, a strengthened
Dins,
child
I guess.
spirit. Yeah. For light trial.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's possible, it's just there's not a whole lot of items that can be in there at this point.
Right.
Especially with our Temple of Time Path to Volvagia means the hammer's probably not going to be sitting in Ganon's castle.
Yeah, probably not.
Who knows? Maybe Strength 3 is on Light Arrow cutscene. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the tricky things, like, 2 strengths being required for that long shot. Now we start asking questions, right? We know that we have a path strength, but are the other 2 not path? Are they path?
So we do know exactly why that strength is path in its skull logic.
Yes. Yep.
There's a prescription here in GTG, and I assume we have the big gore on him by now.
Yeah, it's nothing. Keeps picking up that Requiem. I imagine picks up Prelude and sets time of day to get the couple of skulls out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Those skulls kind of suck, but yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the skulls in Child Spirit alone might drive Heaps back Child.
You
But
gotta hope so.
I still
know.
don't think he does that fairy.
I'm very worried for Heaps not getting just the way his route has moved. That Din's Ferry is such a bad check for Heaps to go do.
Mm-hmm. Wait, he hasn't picked up ZL yet, right?
Nope, still does not have it.
Okay. Yeah. Here lies Heaps.
I guess the one. So he will probably go out to Forest Temple to get those skulls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and will very likely be doing that at least before he decides he wants to go do Child Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I said, like even when you get ZL, you're not thinking of, oh, I definitely need to go do Din's Fairy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does Decker not have the HBA hint, or does he just really want Big Goron Sword?
He might be going up here to play Suns.
I mean, you don't play Suns and then go up here.
No, I guess he just is.
Yeah, maybe
It was in
he
River, right?
forgot. Yeah, I mean, he has the bomb bag, so maybe he forgot. I'm very good at forgetting my hints, especially when there's sometimes hints. I kind of just, I'll throw them out the window as soon as I read them. Like, oh, that's nothing, and then never look at it again, and then just do it.
Right.
It could be just really wants to save 30 minutes with this big Goron sword. For you Chuckles, if you're still here.
Well, he's actually trying for 1500, so.
So must have just forgotten it.
Because I think it's just like a heart. Oh, it's $20.
Yeah, no, definitely forgot, I think, at that point. Probably as soon as he got the big Goron sword, was like, oh, right, that was hinted.
Mm-hmm.
But probably just gonna go beat water here.
Yep. I'm very curious what the water layout looks like.
So water is open for light arrows. Water is in fact hookshot locked, so
Yep.
only 4 checks though, so not incredibly likely,
Mm-hmm.
but possible.
We've seen the first half about of Forest. They weren't there.
Yeah, there's still a lot of checks left in Forest though that we haven't seen. We know Shadow is not open for light arrows,
Yep.
so those hookshot lock checks are dead.
Yep.
Um,
Heart of Fire.
I mean, realistically, Fire only has one hookshot lock check, so it's like that one check is dead.
What? The whole thing is hookshot locked.
Maybe.
Well, hookshot locks
I guess
all of our
hookshot does
access.
kind of lock 50, yeah. So I guess, but I mean, we have a path default, so it's not there.
It's just not hammer locked.
I guess that's fair. I guess it technically could be in there, but not hammer locked.
Ooh, okay.
Early boss key.
Yeah.
It was in fact not ZL locked to beat Morpha.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant, but
yeah. Decker choosing to do Compass first is unusual, I think. So I'm curious why he made that decision. And if
unusual for Decker, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm wondering if this is an indication that he is not going to be doing water.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's just swimming straight to the boss.
I mean, like I said, I'm not sure. I don't know how much hookshot lock stuff we have left.
That's not kind of off the table for various reasons.
Yeah, because it's mostly just water and forest and parts of spirit.
Yeah.
Like, it really depends on the key layout how much of spirit is going to be hookshot locked or not.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't know.
and
I
I
kind of
guess
like doing more of water, given what we know about light arrows, but
I think doing child spirit, like Heaps seems to be planning on doing, is going to be important here. Crossing is in logic without Requiem. So child spirit either locks items or keys.
yeah, or hammer's just light arrow cutscene.
Which I think is what Decker is banking on.
Yeah. Though I don't believe Doc went to go get ZL before doing this,
Oh
which is a
no.
bit scary.
Chimp doing lab dive. We already saw this from Decker. It's a bottle.
Light arrows can't be path to Volvagia because they're path to opening the bridge.
Yeah. Light arrows are path to Evilsbane. And are the end of that path. Kind of like path to KD will always end in a bomb bag.
I didn't see... that looks like a big chest to me.
Yeah, we've got an item here. Okay. Horror's Wind. Not
That's
required
not
for
fake.
anything.
That
But
is
it's
not
nice.
fake.
It is nice is what it is.
Mildly... At this point, it's mildly useful.
Think of what Heaps doesn't have and where he is likely to go after this.
I mean, I still don't think that pushes Heaps to Din's Ferry.
No,
Alright.
but I do think it lets him set Furor's Wind in GTG. So he can go back when he does pick up a strength.
Okay, that's fair. So we do have a key child side, which means Requiem is path to some number of checks in Spirit Temple. The exact number we won't know for until someone goes into Adult Spirit, which is not gonna be Heaps.
Yeah. I would say most importantly that key probably means that lights are not here to a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, so most of the areas this early on aren't shot locked anyways, so. And then, yeah, that basically mostly eliminates Spirit completely. Because the chances of something being not locked by Requiem, but locked by Hookshot with a key child side is very low.
Yeah, exactly. Not impossible, but
low.
But low. Alright, Decker gonna go do Jabu now. Skimp, just kind of doing some child cleanup, it looks like. We'll see if he picks up the strength on the fairy fountain. Has to get irons first, though. And Levi going back adult.
Finally. But, like, Levi had a pretty nice child segment there. Got a lot done that needed to be done, so.
Yep. Yeah, Levi and Decker are both definitely in really, like, good places.
Mm-hmm.
as far as what they have done, what items they have.
Levi, going back, child wants to do child spirit.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's path at this point. And Levi, unlike Doc, can do adult spirit, so.
Mm-hmm. The other really nice thing about that Furor's Wind pickup, depending on the order you do things, like being able to just leave that in water, go check Light Arrow cutscene, go back.
Yeah.
Where are the two strengths? Yep, the one in Valley Crate and the other one Chimp is about to pick up here.
Yeah, and Din's Ferry. The Valley Lake one is hinted that there's a valley path to King Dodongo,
Yep.
which is indeed for that strength. The one on Din's Ferry appears to be pretty required at this point. Where's... Oh no, sorry, I forgot Chimp was just doing Din's Ferry.
Yeah.
Which means Doc, who still doesn't have ZL, as far as I'm aware, is in kind of a rough spot to grab Din's Ferry.
Just strength 2.
Yeah, we do not know where strength 3 is at the moment.
Alright. Where do we think Heaps goes? I expect him to play Requiem and Reverse. Oh.
I feel like you gotta go Forest. I assume Heap still hasn't been there.
Heaps does not have ZL yet. It's in Adult Sacred Forest Meadow. Which he, to be fair, has had things to do. It's not like he's just not doing things. I think this is dead. I think we saw Decker do this. Yeah. Composer Grave Torches. Alright. Chimp doing some cleanup here. Bomb locked checks. Bye, bear. I think Bear's Discord crashed, so you just get to deal with me alone for a little while. Alright. Oh, Heaps is gonna pick up Saria's from Crater here, which is good. If he has been avoiding Sacred Forest Meadow because of logic, this will at least point him there. And to that lullaby. Levi has what he wants. And I would expect Adult Spirit from him. Oh, Chimp hasn't done Dodongos. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Mm-hmm. So this is about the point in the seed where I start hypothesizing what can go wrong for runners. Because often we have seen what is going to trip people up. Strengths, pretty usual suspect, especially with where they've landed today. Mispeaking that bow in Graveyard. Also pretty high up there. But fortunately, there's another one on the rooftop in Fortress. But otherwise, it's just gonna come down to skull routing a lot of the time.
Yo.
Keeps it. Hey, you gonna fill some airtime with me?
I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah.
I just had to log out of RuneScape. So it's time to devote my full attention to the restream.
Damn. Full attention. He doesn't even know what's going on.
I have no fucking idea.
Well, Levi just found Mirror Shield in Spirit, which is a pretty classic location for it. Little scary.
Why is that scary?
No. Well, Requiem being path to Volve. Not great. Not great.
And so what are we thinking? The hammer maybe behind mirror or something?
Yeah, hammer probably behind mirror.
Yikes.
I assume we saw a light arrow cutscene from Decker. Anyone? Anyone? I got a bit distracted by Bear's computer dying.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is the room on Decker's side that I was talking about where the custom model just sucks. Because
that
you just
room's
can't
terrible.
line anything up.
Thanks, Kirby fan. Okay, yeah, it's definitely Requiem.
Ooh boy.
I feel like Decker just flew through Jabu. Very impressive.
It's so weird seeing a hour and 47-minute King Dodongo fight too.
Yeah,
definitely not something
Bombay
you're used to.
definitely gave Chimp a bit of a hard time today. But that's okay. It's not like Katie had anything. Alright, there is our hammer. Fortunately not behind Mirror Shield.
That's good. Where was that? Up on above the right hand? Up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool, cool.
Nice.
Hey,
Sorry,
welcome back.
There.
Welcome back. Okay,
Peter
I
just
mute now.
died.
Bye, Jimbo.
Bye bye.
Had to log out of RuneScape for that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Hammer was in Spirit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, that sort of reopens a little bit. I should have paid more attention to the keys. Because if that child spirit key is, like, hard logically required for adult to enter.
Yeah, where exactly in Spirit was Hammer?
It was on the, when you play ZL, not the hand chest, but the other one that appears.
Oh, in the lobby?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Mirror Shield was in one of the 2 adult checks. Irons, Jimbo. Irons.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I don't think Spirit can have So nothing 3 key locked or more is and I think we've seen all the non-3 key locked things anyways.
Yeah.
Because Doc did all of Child Spirit.
Mhm.
Yeah, so lights definitely aren't in Spirit. So it's just
Oh, there was no small key on adult side anyway.
okay, yeah, so
Yeah. And it was boss key on the map chest. So
I think that just means forest and water.
and water. Alright, Heaps is going into forest. We'll see if he finishes forest.
Yeah, definitely wants the skulls here. I
Yeah.
think in Heaps's case, probably wants to do more of forest. I think
Yeah.
Heaps should at least be aware that forest has most of the checks where lights can be left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that hammer being on an adult check in spirit, which, you know, was likely anyway. I think we saw everything child accessible. Heaps really needs to find a strength too, between hammer and long shot being locked behind it.
Those fire arrows, completely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
We're still missing dins, which can be literally anywhere. As the thing is, we have all these places that are dead for lights, but they could all still have dins.
Right. Yeah, the nocturne to bongo hint is probably the least useful. It was useful in knowing that there was a bongo hint.
Yeah, it told you that hovers are not something you need to push.
Yeah.
But it also means that this dins can be just about anywhere in this seed.
Yep. Lights cannot be in shadow, unfortunately, because we had a bongo hint. And that hint was for getting in the door. Because sometimes it's like, okay, if hovers are hinted, it could be in the first 4 checks, you know. Not in this case.
Yeah, no, the Shadow
It's kind of like,
Temple.
yeah. It's
It's
kind of
just
like, okay, lights could have been in fire, just not hammer locked. They weren't, because Heaps did that. Yeah, it was in Fountain. Ranch to Bongo.
Yeah, I know Decker has seen it. I'm not sure if anyone else has.
Oh, and Fire Temple is foolish.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you, Kirby.
fire is also foolish. That's a very true. One of the things that I find with like when you basically get the foolish hints right at the beginning is I kind of just forget them about halfway through the seed.
Mm-hmm. I know, those are the times where you're kind of like, I would love to see River, Kokiri, Forest, and Valley. Because those are all things that you only need to remember at the start.
Yeah.
Worst thing you do in any of those is peek the Hammer Rocks in Valley. I did not see what the first number there was, but Decker has something for skulls.
I'm pretty sure Decker's in the 40s, but it could be 34, but I'm pretty sure it's 44.
Yeah. 44 would be about right, and I might even expect him to do the slow skull in back if he's at 44.
Yeah, I think the thing with Decker is he has not done a ton of the bottle skulls yet because
Mm-hmm.
he's been doing a lot of adult stuff, so.
Yeah. Alright, Heaps seems to be leaving Forest.
Okay, that may or may not be good.
I think for Heaps, staying in Forest would have been the best, because I think right now he's probably going to Ice.
Yeah. Can Ice have anything? I don't think so. I guess it could have Dins.
Ice could have Dins. Ice could have another Strength.
Yeah, that's true. If there's just another strength somewhere, like that's actually pretty big for Heaps. There isn't. Yeah, I don't. I don't want to say he's out, but it's not looking great.
Yeah. That is tough. Because at this point, that is a, like, I'm gonna last look.
Yeah.
Won't be able to beat water, but we'll probably end up full clearing water as a result. You know, all of those things.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like sometimes, like the way you route certain Dins Ferry,
Yeah.
which is just really unfortunate in a seed where Din's Ferry seems pretty dang required.
Yeah. And any other seed, it could have been totally fine. There just happens to be a strength there this seed. You know, not to pull up some old tropes, but that's why we call it rando. And that's why a lot of people really do not enjoy playing this game regularly. It adds
Yeah.
up. It adds up when you're like, again, Heaps has not made any wrong decisions. He had progression to do the entire time. He didn't need to go out of his way to get Lullaby. It just didn't
Yeah.
play out that that was a good way to go through the seed.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like sometimes like your route can be bad without you making any bad decisions.
Yep.
And I say bad as in like it won't work out. Even though
Yep.
you made sound decisions the entire way through, sometimes your route just doesn't work out.
Yep.
And it kind of sucks sometimes when that happens. But you know, that's kind of the nature of how the randomizer works sometimes.
Yep. Meanwhile, Chimp getting that bongo hint and gonna be going through Jabu. Won't be finding much in there. Decker.
I don't think there was anything in there, right?
Yeah. And Decker is at 36.
Oh, that's Greg for the meme checkbox.
Greg. Oh, they're right there. Or is that a big rupee? No, that's a huge.
That's
rupee.
a big rupee, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
it wouldn't be yellow as strength 2.
Oh, I thought it was lights.
Oh, lights.
But then I was like,
but no,
what's
that's
shot locked about that?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing so shot locked about that.
Not true. It's behind ZL, which is hookshot locked.
It's not behind ZL. Irons were
getting into Fountain.
As getting into Fountain
is behind ZL.
Oh. That is true. ZL is hookshot. That's weird.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized that. But yeah, no, it is. Because of skull logic, it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one isn't even skull logic.
I mean, it is skull logic because hookshot locks hover boots.
Yeah. You're right. By extension. Yeah. Alright, long shot for Levi. I mean, at this point, I imagine he just finishes GTG just because he can, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're still looking for Dins, and like we've been saying, Dins, there's no direction for Dins. It's somewhere in this seed.
Yeah.
So it could very easily be in GTG.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting the runners have covered a lot of like different ground, but nothing that's really added up to give us a lot of information. Is this a strength for Heaps?
Come on, strength.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a bottle. Or a
I guess the thing is
slingshot.
also for Levi, like this is open for lights. Most of GTG is so.
True. Yep.
Let's see.
Oh, it's a Goron tunic.
Well, that's. I mean, you don't say no to a Goron tunic
Yeah.
with no wallet, but it's not what you're looking for.
Right. Alright, so Decker, I believe, is probably going to do what Levi did. Go adult, pick up Requiem, and immediately go back child.
Yeah. I think in Decker's instance, you know it's Requiem that is Path, and you know it's specifically for Child Spirit, so there's no real reason not to just put the sword back down and go there.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, interesting.
He's reading the pedestal again. Quick reminder.
Totally on purpose.
Totally
Definitely not an
intended.
accident.
Absolutely. What is this play? Skulls?
Oh, is it OGC skull? Is this like Decker's 50th skull?
No, Decker was at like 30 something.
Oh.
Unless he wrote down which reward it is. Toilet was a dead item. We didn't see a hint for it, but we did see Decker do it.
30. I guess Decker's gonna hope Child Spirit's just a key. Gonna get these skulls, and then be disappointed when he has to go Child and get the key anyways.
Yeah. I hate getting that skull. I hate getting any of these skulls. They suck.
Yeah.
Levers suck.
Yeah, it's the levers are not super fun to deal with.
Yeah, happy 2 hours, everyone. I hope you're all having fun. This seed is shaping up to be one of the longer ones. I've been seeing people talk about these seeds all being jets, so Mido has responded accordingly.
I think we can safely say this is not a jet seed.
Yeah. But yeah, please give our runners a follow. Levi Belvedere, Jabu Decker, and Chimpa and Rave all playing at... What time is it? 1 a.m. for them?
1 a.m.? Yeah, 1 a.m. for them. They're all in the
1
UK.
a.m. And Heaps, who is just playing on a Saturday night.
Just another Saturday night.
Just another Saturday night. Thanks, of course, to our trackers. We shouted them out a little earlier, but they're doing the actual work here of watching the runners and marking the items that they have, and there
are the light arrows.
Our lights.
Well, that's ice is required.
Which is nice. We talked about that a little earlier. You know, Serenade being hinted, but there being 3 quick skulls there, especially if you have those blue fire arrows.
Yeah, if Heaps ever ends up getting another strength and finding the long shot, he can just play Serenade.
Yeah, while you were gone, Bear, I was talking about the, you know, kind of pitfalls of this seed, and it's absolutely gonna be that strength. on Castle Fairy.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a contingent of people who are in a similar situation as what Heaps is in right now, where Din's fairies are really not fun check to go get.
Yeah. And from there, like Longshot being just in Silver Block Room in GTG, people go to GTG, whether or not there's a reason to, you know? So I'm not too concerned about that tripping people up. The lights will probably send a lot of people into Forest or completing water.
Yeah.
But as far as we've seen on Restream, Dins could be there.
Yeah, we still have not seen any Dins here, so I think that's gonna come down to a lot of what who's gonna end up winning this seat is gonna be who ends up getting this Dins. So seems in not a great spot considering we're 2 hours in. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Levi. Oh, missing it. Interesting that Levi is choosing to continue here, but as we've been mentioning, the light arrows could very well be here in Levi's, point of view.
Yeah. Honestly, I was more surprised that Decker kind of skipped it, but at least skipping the front half, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, I do get it. Raising the water and lowering the water sucks a bit, but typically you see those more aggressive water skips from VC players because it's, slower to reset. Decker is not a VC player.
Doesn't Decker play on a Xbox 360 controller or something like that?
Oh god.
I feel like Decker's one of those weirdos, sorry, who plays on the not notch controllers.
I hated switching to notches. I think they're terrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you get used to a certain controller, then generally switching is going to be harder than just keeping with it, but...
Yeah, Heaps definitely plays on an Xbox controller. Keeps finding those blue fire arrows after having done ice, unfortunately. It is surprising how much time it saves you. Or
yeah,
saves you.
The dumping the blue fire is really slow and really laggy.
No, you're amazing, Jimbo. Wait. I've been tricked. I suppose that's fair. I did call him a node earlier tonight. But no, notches, you either like playing with them or you don't like playing with them. It creates very prescriptive movement, where if you have learned to have more freedom and that's what your muscle memory is for, it is very tricky to switch to the opposite. And that's why I am bad at the game now. It's not because I don't play.
Yeah.
Right?
It has nothing to do with never playing a couple of times a year.
Certainly not. I thought someone said that Heaps was at 50.
Yeah, I do remember reading someone saying Heaps would be at 50 when he exited Ice.
Okay. It is interesting for Heaps to have access to hovers and not grab them before coming into water. Where
Yeah,
you can
especially
get
when you have
around the long
Serenade.
shot. Yeah. I just realized Levi probably didn't do compass first, huh?
No, you can't have the water down if you do compass first.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is not what I said at all. Ooh, unfortunate. That was much farther right than I use for that jump if I don't have hovers, but this is also one of those where there's a million possible ways, because you can just jump if you aim at the right spot. Frozen. Hey, Rock Chalk, how's it going?
Oh, I
Video is
see.
frozen, audio's not. Jimbo! Jimbo!
Jimbo!
Bottom text is still moving though. Yeah, that's it. Jimbo! Everyone at Jimbo. Blame Jimbo, blame Trez. Do all the things.
Alright, looks
Okay.
like it's back. Okay, cool.
Thanks, chat. I try to let chat know this every restream, but what we see is very different than what you see. And so sometimes things go down for us, but not you, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's interesting setup, but
Just like we can see all of the runners' cameras and trackers and things. All right. Decker back into spirit.
gonna get the hammer.
All right. Heaps is reversing, will not be able to get the long shot. And unfortunately, this is the strength that he has here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see him end up back in Forest after this.
Yeah, it's definitely a question of if you're Heaps, where do you go from here? I don't think he has that many options at this point.
No.
And of those options, Forest is probably the most attractive, I would guess.
Well, at least you know that the checks are strength locked, right? Like, you know that these things are locked behind. So if you're looking for another strength, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe there even is another strength in there.
Yeah?
And
That's
it's
the thing.
looking. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's looking increasingly likely that Din's is just gonna end up being in Forest too.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen it in the parts of water that we have seen.
Yeah, there's still a bit of water left.
Fire is foolish, so it can't be there.
Yeah, so I think
It can just be in
I guess
Ganon.
Ganon's is open now. Yeah, I'm not sure if no one on Restream currently is able to get into Ganon's castle, but it could have Din's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. Decker has to decide to go to ice at some point. But ice being hook-locked is a bit of a mental gymnastics moment in
Yeah,
this.
it was definitely something I didn't realize, and I don't have to worry about actually playing through the seed, so could
Yeah.
definitely see someone not realizing that ZL is in fact hookshot locked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so these top of spirit checks I don't think we've seen.
I don't think we've seen. They're not in play
For lights, but
for
they are in play
lights.
for Dins.
Yeah. Which, of course, again, we know where lights are on Restream, so when we say things like that, we are speaking from the runner's perspective.
Yeah. Ooh. No.
But yeah, the various ways people track information. No, some people do keep entire track of, is this in logic? Is this out of logic? Hmm? Okay, just a wallet.
Yeah, well, it's not really what you're looking for. I guess Decker doesn't have the Goron tunic, so, you know.
Yeah. So this is an interesting decision here. Do you do Twin Roba? Because that's
The
a
answer is
pretty...
no.
Yeah, that's a hefty time investment.
It is about 5 minutes for exactly one check. Twin Rova is
Yeah.
the kind of thing where you very reasonably last location, a unrequired stone Twin Rova. It's not a good check.
And unlike many things, you have Requiem. Oh. Because if Decker didn't have Requiem, I would say you just beat it. You know?
Yeah.
Not even melting the face.
Yeah, I was gonna say before, but I was like, I doubt Decker is even gonna like do the puzzle. It's gonna get the check and then leave. Like
Yeah.
you're not at the point in the game where you're bothering with doing Stone Twin Rova.
Yeah. If you didn't have a fast way back, no Requiem, no FW, maybe. But that is such a significant investment.
Oh, looks like Deck. Actually, never mind. Going somewhere different than what I thought.
I think this is just the way to fire, unfortunately.
Oh right, Bolero is it's on a OT.
Yeah. So, what I think Decker is likely to do is finish up fire, probably go ice from there, but could also play Nocturne, grab Minuet, and go Forest. So Decker did a like side swipe with the sword and it went over the chest, so it's a small chest. And it was either a key or a dead item, so
Yeah, there's
no.
a couple of different setups you can do to like check to see if an invisible chest is small without actually opening it. That's one of them. I think you can like side hop onto it too. Like
Yeah.
you'll go in a higher spot.
Yeah,
If
side
it's a big
hopping.
chest.
Yeah, side hopping onto a small chest, you actually hop up on it. And a big chest, you just run into the side. And hey, welcome in, Raiders. We have an Ocarina of Time Randomizer Season 8 Qualifier going on right now.
Chimp, the first one to get the hovers.
Yeah.
We've known where they are for a long time, but getting 50 skulls is not generally a quick enterprise.
Yep.
So it'll be curious to see what Deckard does once he beats fire, because I feel like your main options from here are forest or ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like since like the Bolero warp pad where you drop out after fire is the fastest way to ice, probably does that.
Yeah.
Because out of ice you can just nocturne, pick up minuet, and go forest if you need to. Yeah, this is one of the few times I definitely would say Din's is a just straight up casino. It can be anywhere that we haven't already seen.
Yeah. We know it's not in the checks we've seen, and that's about it. And it can't be in Shadow Temple, but it can be anywhere else.
And fire is foolish, so it won't be there. So the options are getting more limited. But there are still plenty of places. Crater Fairy.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of random one-off spots I don't think we've seen. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few spots we've seen. Honestly, for like 2 hours and 20 minutes into the sea, there's quite a few places we just haven't seen at all. So,
Yeah, and that's definitely like the skull routing adding up. Because by now we would have seen someone finish forest usually. Are you allowed to open shadow without? No.
yeah, fire arrow entry, as it's called, opening the Shadow Temple with just the fire arrows, is not allowed in these settings. So,
yeah,
they need to go get Din's fire. Okay, it does look like Heaps is going back into forest. Maybe there's another strength in here. That would be pretty nice. Maybe there's another strength and Din's in here.
Hey, let's go. I like that optimism there. Meanwhile, Chimp, just kind of keeping on down there. Finished up Jabu, has done Deku, had to backtrack to DC. But it's just kind of on the path. Has that strength 2 most importantly, so even though it kind of looks like maybe Heaps, you know, has more done, that strength 2 is going to be critical. But Chimp needs to go to GTG as well.
Yeah, but I feel like Chimp will probably end up once you get the hammer out of Spirit Temple. I think Chimp is going to end up just going to GTG because it's got a lot of checks.
Yeah. Yep. And that's because fire is foolish.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would just go do your dungeon and see what's there, but... Chimp does have Furor's Wind, though, which is nice.
Yeah, it looks like this is a fairly short fire temple. I think this is still I think this is still first floor. though I'm not. I wasn't fully paying attention to Foolish Fire.
Yeah, I think it was just the big lava room, so...
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, that's nice. Usually a Foolish Fire, you're like, I'm gonna be here for 12 minutes.
Yeah, Foolish Fire, and oh, look, it's on Megaton Hammer Chest. That's convenient. It's not convenient.
That's not convenient, game. Boss Key being on Megaton Hammer Chest in a non-Foolish Fire, great. I don't want to have to go through all of Fire, but I would also rather have that decision taken from me.
Yeah, I definitely, especially if you have to climb anyways, I'd much, if I'm basically for Fire Boss Key and in like a normal Fire, non-Foolish Fire Temple, I either want it super early or I want it super, super late.
Yeah. Because I don't want to have to make that choice. Do I do Fire or not?
Yeah, do I keep going for one check or do I just leave?
Yo. Boss Key right next to Volve. I'm not going any further.
Yeah. Right, I think Heaps is pretty close to getting to checks we haven't seen in Forest yet now, so...
Yep. Yeah, so if you are a Heaps fan, you really want to strengthen here. Ooh. I can't believe Link caught that ledge.
Yeah, no, that looked like a disaster.
The worst, like, short hop ever is when you're in the GTG, Silver Rupee room with the boulders. You sometimes just...
And you miss that rupee.
You miss that rupee and you're like, now I gotta go all the way back up there and around.
Yeah.
I think Decker is about to do another check that we haven't seen. This fairy fountain.
You finally get to see DMC Fairy. That's nice. Almost side hopped into the lava.
Yeah.
I've done that. Sometimes the like camera angle changes, just like you're going for a roll and it just side hops and you're like, that's not.
The camera is definitely the ultimate boss of OoT.
Yeah.
And most N64 games.
Yeah, this was still early 3D days, so camera's not always. They didn't really know exactly how to control the camera well in 3D at this point in time, so.
Where was Rang? The bridge scrub in Lost Woods.
Chimp now has the hammer.
Let's go, Chimp.
We'll see how much more of a spirit Chimp is going to be tempted to do.
I think Chimp does Twin Roba.
Yo, you think he's gonna fully complete it? That's spicy.
I think Chimp finishes this.
We'll see. I would honestly, if it were me, I would probably bail after. I don't know. I guess it's hard. I'm like, I would either bail like after these two checks, or I would do everything except Twin Roba.
Here's my thinking. I am worried, but also optimistic. Din Roba. That's terrible and amazing. Dins can be here.
Yeah.
But I think it's really easy to lose sight of whether or not lights can be here. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's a really easy one to...
I guess that's fair. So technically, Spirit Temple itself is, like, the vast majority of Spirit Temple is hookshot locked. But because of how the hints work, because Requiem is what is path to Volvagia, it means that that can't have the lights because Volvagia is not a bridge medallion.
Yep.
Volvagia is a BK medallion, so it has lower priority in the hint generation.
Yep. I just think that's easier to lose track of in this seed.
Yeah,
so
no, it's
I
definitely
can-
something
Yeah.
that these kind of bigger intricacies into the hints can be difficult to ascertain while you're trying to play through a seed at the same time.
Yep.
But my main reason for not doing Twin Rova is the fact that it's 5 minutes for a single dang check.
Yeah, it's not good. Chimp setting for Roar's Wind here. I think that's a safety for Roar's Wind, expecting to die to this Iron Knuckle. But I believe in Chimp. He's got this.
It could also just be wants to go to GTG after this, and then we'll Furor's win back if he doesn't find anything in GTG.
True. Yep.
I've seen that play a few times.
Yep.
Yeah, and Decker did decide to go Ice Cavern. That's going to be good for Decker. Light arrows are in fact in this cavern, which even when the song is hinted useless, somehow still comes through and has something important. We'll see. I feel like once you get light arrows, Decker's just gonna go straight to Ganon's castle.
Yeah, I would agree. Levi, I think, was having some trouble with that jump to Volve. I think that was why the reset. Chess game was not hinted, but we did see it a couple times. And it was nothing. And there has been nothing in Forest here.
Yeah, I was about to say, this Forest is not looking good so far for Doc. But we still got the ultimate Forest check, Phantom Ganon. Everything's on Phantom Ganon. That's how it works. But looking more like Din's is just in Ganon's castle.
Oh no, Levi. Fortunately, had a fairy, made the jump, and died immediately after.
Sorry, Mel. No Twin Rova.
That's fine. Good for Chimp.
Saving those 5 minutes until it actually is on Twin Rova. And everyone finishes over 3 hours.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is... So, what, you didn't need to do bottom of the well. But otherwise, you have to do GTG, at least, like, quote-unquote, half of it. You have to do ice.
Nothing in Forest Temple. That's rough.
Nothing in Forest. Oh, nothing
Doc's
in Forest.
not happy about it.
Yeah. He's looking at... He uses Soleil's tracker, which has a list of every check, and he's going, what have I not done? What have I not done?
I think at this point it might just be Din's Fairy, unfortunately for Doc.
Yeah. But he's done Child Spirit, so he can pick up that strength to go straight to Spirit. Go do Fire. I imagine he goes back to GTG and does those checks before doing that, but... Oh, he's mad.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, we've been saying for a while that Din's Ferry was just in a really, really awkward spot
Yeah.
for the route Doc took. And it's just unfortunate item placement.
Yeah. We just gotta hope that he doesn't, like, just pick up Keaton Mask and not do it.
That's true. You can go get fire arrows.
Okay, nope. Going straight by it.
Okay, good.
Alright. Decker did find those lights and is headed to Ganon's as expected. Chimp
Yep.
did reverse. Has Chimp done the rest? No, has not done any of GG.
Yeah, I don't think Chimp has done any of this. So
No, he's in jail, so definitely not.
we'll probably full clear this area. We'll get the long shot out of it, which I'm sure he will be happy about.
Yep. Bowling had iron boots. Oh, I think that's... I'm looking at Heaps, and I'm not sure if he's gonna keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's like that.
Oh,
I feel real bad for you, Heaps. That was
I
just an
know.
awful location for you to go do. And it turns out it is in fact hard required, that strength too.
Did Decker just find another one?
No, I mean, Doc literally doesn't have other checks left.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He doesn't, does he? Decker died to spirit trial. Rip Decker. Alright. Levi should be getting close to 50, I would think.
Yeah, I imagine is going to be going into ice here. We'll get light arrows and then be on track to go get presumably Din's in Ganon's castle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not up here.
Oh. There was a lot of discussion after the qual yesterday about whether or not, like, when you go up the tower, because there was an important item on boss key chest there. And a lot of people were of the opinion you only climb this before the, like, end, if you have FW. So you can, like, just warp away.
I assume it was for, like, a Ganon's castle was, like, hinted having
No,
something?
Ganon's
No?
was not hinted in that case. It was gross.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a climb last. That's my last check in Ganon's castle.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going for the lights hint, which in SAU wouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah, in this case, though, knowing that you're only looking for one item, I think going up first or early, like right after Spirit like that, makes the most sense.
I don't know. I'm still I don't like doing that check. But that's the wrong spell.
That is the wrong spell. Hmm?
I mean, it's either this or Twin Rova, I think. So.
Hey, All
There
right,
we go.
we don't have to see Twin Rova today. So Decker definitely going to be winning Restream today.
Yeah.
If Levi makes similar decisions, comfortably second on Restream. Heaps now having strength 2. Having already done what he can in fire and water, which I don't believe Chimp has.
Yeah, I do think the good news for Heaps is that he basically has to go to GTG after Spirit, so
Yeah.
and then once you get the long shot, then you're probably just gonna go straight into. I mean, I don't even know what Heaps has left. Like Heaps is basically has a straight line to the end from this point.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Chimp can take a few detours potentially.
Yeah. Chimp has to do ice still.
Yeah, needs to go ice before the rest of Forest Temple. I think Chimp might also have some child cleanup he hasn't done yet. I'm not 100% sure on that though.
I believe he can still win the qual. I haven't looked at the race
I'm
room
not
yet,
on
but
race time, but I assume that the results will get posted in
yeah,
chat
the
once they
bots will
happen.
tell us.
Yeah, so I assume no one's finished yet.
No one's finished yet, but we do have 3 forfeits, unfortunately. Not too surprising with those strengths, honestly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough seed, especially if you do a route similar to what Doc ended up doing, where just Din's Ferry is just a really crappy check to go get. I could definitely see a few people forfeiting because of that.
Yep.
We'll see how nice the Shadow Temple is in terms of keys. Maybe we can skip a couple of checks in here.
Did Levi crash?
I did not see.
No. Oh no. Oh no, I jinxed him. Surely he saved recently. He saved in ice,
It looks
right?
like he's just missing Volvagia. I think that's...
Okay. Oh, that sucks.
I think he saved after getting the big key.
Yeah.
Was the last time he saved. That's rough.
Yeah. So this is one of the very unfortunate things. In almost any other scenario, you would have a FPA or fair play agreement covering you. So that this wouldn't just be time loss, but unfortunately, that is all it is for Levi in this case.
Yeah, no, he's just had routing where he didn't have ZL in Child 1, but he had everything else, so just kind of full clear Child outside of the few ZL checks. And it turned out that kind of needed to have ZL as Child to do this seed efficiently.
Yeah.
Just kind of isolated those checks, understandably so. Like when you only have like 2 or 3 ZL checks left in Child, you're not really excited about going back there.
I almost lost it. I thought the bomb killed Levi and not the heat timer.
Oh, that's rough. Like actually dying to not the heat timer and the ball fight. It's such a feels bad moment because your heat
what
timer
happens,
doesn't reset.
Yeah, your heat timer once you enter the room is static. So if he had died to the bomb blast, he would have been revived by the fairy and then immediately died to the heat timer.
Has to be careful here. Is at 3/4 of a heart.
Oh no.
Oh, uh-oh.
Might have
You
to
wanted...
reset here.
Oh, has another fairy. Has another fairy. It's
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Just don't die to not the heat timer. That's all
Yeah.
you gotta be.
Don't get hit by a rock.
All
Yeah,
right, we're good.
okay. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, if it happens once to you, you're scared. Like every other time. Um, oh, that's so unfortunate. I feel bad about saying anything about Levi. Um,
Yeah, it's
obviously.
just one of those things. I imagine you're not like super happy about having to fight Volv a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and then to have the
But
second fight just kind of go like this, you're just like, why game?
yeah. And like he had a pretty good full fight the first time around. Levi has to now go back and do the first like half of ice again.
Yeah.
Um
It's gonna
and
go
so
have to re-get those skulls too. The biggest
yeah.
unfortunate part is you went out of your not super out of your way, but like you got a couple of skulls in domain and in river that you're gonna have to go get again because you still need to go get 50.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. And
Yeah.
I wish desperately that that hadn't happened to him.
Yeah, no. Getting a crash, VC crash, any other emulator crash, whatever, is just it's not great. It's not a great feeling to just kind of lose time because something random happened.
Yeah. And this is one of those things like we want so badly for there to be an FPA option where you get one time like this in quals, you know? Because it happens to almost everyone, at least once in quals, that something just breaks. Their controller doesn't work, their game crashes, and you don't want that to affect the outcome, you know?
Yeah. It's just really hard when you've got, like 50 plus people in every
Yeah,
race to,
right.
try
And
and
like,
make sure everyone is like doesn't have that kind of thing happen. And
yeah, and like the most fair thing you can think of to do is probably have them DNF and they just get another qual to try.
yeah, but
And they
even
might
that's
not
not
want
a
to.
perfect solution.
Yeah. And in a case like this, like Levi didn't lose that much time, but it is tilting and he's got to do all of Shadow still ahead of him. Has to find Dins, of course, but the the world is pretty small for that for
Yeah.
him.
Levi is still committing to going to ice, which is very good for Levi because it's going to get him the light arrows, and then presumably he will go straight to Ganon's castle because it is the best play you have at that point.
Yeah.
So it should be more or less a straight line for Levi from here, but it's just
Yeah.
in really unfortunate. Yep, that one's not a key. That means we're going back a shadow.
Yeah. Shoot, I think Decker might have been able to pull off sub 3 if Back of Shadow hadn't been required. Um I mean, I think Decker has made very few errors this seed as far as like routing, losing time to things. Probably the biggest time sink, quote unquote, was continuing in Spirit after Hammer, but Din's could have easily been there, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely think this has been a pretty well played seed for Decker. And I think I don't want to say he got lucky, but he definitely had a good route through um, getting all the items in a timely fashion. So
Yeah. Like, I think he went back to bottom of the well, I think. So, like I said, definitely places that someone else might have saved time, but he has made so few mistakes this seed. I imagine him putting up a really good place.
yeah, I also think with a seed like this, like you basically have to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like realistically, no one's gonna be like skipping well in a seed like this is not really something people are gonna be able to do.
Oh, no, no, no.
So
Like,
it's like
there was there was nothing in there, but
yeah, like you theoretically could, but like this kind of seed where like everything is kind of like very scattered and you have to collect 50 skulls anyways, it's like
mm-hmm.
you're not
Yeah,
skipping out on the well, especially when it's available so early.
yeah. I would say one of the things that surprises me is all of the runners on Restream. We were talking about 20 skulls, right? When do you turn in 20?
Hmm.
Hey, just Sam, first place, 251.18.
GG.
GG's.
It's a pretty solid time for this seed.
Yeah. That is sooner than I thought. I was thinking somewhere before the 3-hour mark we might have a finisher, but that is a really good time. That's definitely like not doing anything extra in water, probably not doing anything extra in spirit, maybe not going back to bottom of the well if he didn't have ZL the first time, or waiting until he could full clear. But that'll be good for Sam. I believe he was already in the top 32 rankings, but I imagine that only improves his score.
Yeah, I
But
haven't
we'll
been
have to.
paying super attention, but Sam is definitely one of those runners that I would expect to be in the running for top 32.
Mhm. Yep. First logical bomb bag behind 30.
All right, Levi gonna pick up lights here, and presumably go straight to Ganon's castle.
Yeah, I
And
would be
the
surprised.
yeah should be on a fairly good route to finish this seed with with a pretty good time. I would say if you from here to finish it's probably like 20-ish, 25-ish minutes. Question mark. I'm not. My
Uh,
timing's not great.
I think it
Shadow's pretty
depends.
long.
Yeah, I think it depends on how Levi routes cannons. Like, if you start Spirit, go around that way, and have Forest be your last one before you climb up. Not great.
Well, I mean, so you don't have strength 3, so you're
Mm-hmm.
unlikely to route it that way.
You are unlikely. Decker's only got a few minutes left. He's done the climb, has FW set up there, so that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, just walking back in, gonna use Furor's Wind, and then be about 4 minutes, I think, away from finishing, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that top 7 refers to kind of the benchmark of how points are generated for quals. Once we have 7 finishers, the calculation does its magic,
Yeah,
gets
it's
them points.
somewhere close to it's the average of the top 7 times, and
Mm-hmm.
then a lot more math equals
Yep.
your points.
Yep. This seed wasn't fast enough to have like the quote-unquote jet seed mitigation. But we kind of knew that that wouldn't be a thing as soon as we saw the 50 required.
And J-Bone finishing in second place. GG's. It's a very good finish for J-Bone.
Yeah, that's a really good finish for J-Bone. Another that's kind of a staple in that main tournament list of players.
Yeah, no, J-Bone definitely another one of those players who you expect to, be somewhere at least close to top 32.
And Chimp taking down Morpha. Let's go, Chimp.
Nice.
So that's just Volve left for him until finding Dins. Could go find Dins first, but...
Yeah, I feel... So I think with where lights are, the fact that they're in ice, I think most people, and we don't have Bolero, most people are going to just do fire, even though it's foolish, on their way to ice.
Yeah, I would agree. Levi losing a little time there having to pick up Minuet because he didn't have the hovers yet, but... Keeps doing Child Goron City. Fire is foolish. He did fire already, didn't he?
Yeah. He's missing the long shot. He needs to go back to GTG.
Oh.
But his Furores was in fire, so he did not put it in GTG. So
yeah,
deciding to do child cleanup over those 4 checks,
yeah,
which is not it's an understandable decision to be making.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Doc, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, and that is very much like decision making that he makes. He goes like, what are the odds that this place... Oh no, Decker. Decker! Ooh. Ooh. Nerves getting him a bit. No!
Come on, Decker.
Oh no.
That's the scariest Ganon fight I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I thought he was getting slashed for sure there. Alright, well that's a really good finish from Decker. Hopefully no snipes here.
Should be 3rd place here for Decker, which is, I think anyone is going to be. Oh, of course, what the Hells would finish.
Of course, Hells is going to snipe. GG's Hells, though.
And GG's Decker.
And GG's Decker.
And speaking of sniping, GG's Hyper.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too surprised to see kind of a cluster here at the start. But I imagine it'll be, around Levi's finish time, probably another cluster.
Yeah.
We'll see if Decker's coming in for an interview. It looks like he is.
Yeah, I'm sure all 3 of those players are very happy with their finish time here. It's a really solid finish for this seed. Mm-hmm. Though I imagine a lot of players are going to be pretty happy with their finish in this seed. One of the things about the slower seeds like this that you see is oftentimes the score. More people are going to get slightly higher scores because they can't be that much farther behind.
Yeah. Welcome in, Decker. GG's.
GG's.
Oh. He's listening to K-pop.
Okay, no, I was.
There
my
we
bad.
go.
I was on push to talk. What happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
I mean,
expand.
Okay. So, the seed felt awful. Like, not like the seed itself felt awful. My first hour felt awful. Like, I opted not to go river, so I go child. I do a bunch of child stuff. kind of hoping for like a bomb bag, because like as soon as I seen that bow, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to like go back and like remember what the sort of positioning setup is for the Rang in case I get Rang. I got Rang. I was like, well, I don't remember. I haven't done the setup like double checking, so that's a terrible thing. So I was really hoping for like a bomb bag because of the scale hint. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting a scale. So I do like a bunch of stuff looking for it, and then there's just one at the top of river because I'd like run out of ideas of what to do that was like okay at that point. So I was like, I'll run up river before I go like into DC or something. See the bomb bag, I'm like, well, great. Could have got that like adult one and then done DC and other stuff and had a much better child one. And then I got the letter on the way to GTG, and I was like, because I got 20 skull Kukiri sword. I'm like, cool, well, we're not going to go child for Deku until we get letter, or unless it's our best play to do, right? So I keep going to GTG, get the letter in the Scrub Grotto, and then all I'm thinking about is if I'd gone river and got the bomb bag, and then gone child, and then walked through Southfield like I did with the bomb bag, I'd have letter and Rang in child 1, and I would have had such a good opener. So I was like, this seed is awful, it's done. But then like light arrows are in a crap spot. Your hint for them is like, oh, they're basically anywhere, because like I think it was like hook, strength, Rang for 30 skulls to get bomb bag.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, basically.
So it was like, because of the bomb bag being in an awful spot, your light arrows could be almost anywhere in the seed, because it just means they're like, well, they could be hook locked or bomb locked, or like, so like anywhere. And then my skull routing, I just want to shout out like Fire Temple. If the boss key had been higher up, I would have got to 50 skulls and maybe not gone ice. But like, because I had exactly 3 left that I needed, I was like, well, my original plan was maybe I go back into Forest, but like, kind of sucked. I'd got most of the skulls there. I'm like, well, ice is fairly quick with blue fire arrows, and I get 3 skulls, so we go there. We get the lights. We go, well, now Ganon's is open, and yeah. I spent a lot of time expecting like a finish like late 1 hour, early 2 hours, and then when I'm in Shadow, I'm like, I feel like the finishes have to be coming in soon. So I wasn't too bothered when Sam finished, because at that point I was like, already just like, we have gone so far without a finish that I do not care. I don't care where I finish now. It's going to be good enough. So
yeah, so it's interesting because when you found, you were on your way into Ganon's, we're like, you have made so few like routing mistakes, quote unquote. Like your route ended up working out in the long run. So even though that like early part might not have felt great, what it added up to for all of the other runners was like Heaps not getting ZL and thus not getting Strength 2 until 20 minutes ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was rough.
Levi had like an hour Child 1 segment because he was doing Deku and Jabu, and it just kind of added up to there wasn't a lot of like the side stuff being done.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you felt like it was bad, but from our, 4-player view, you certainly not the God route, we won't say that, but you definitely, like, the decisions you made paid out.
Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, I would say usually the way I tend to route, especially in like quals, is more for efficiency than anything, which I know sounds crazy when I went into well without explosives and ZL, but I'm just going to say that that's something I've been doing a lot more lately, and just being like, at the end of the day, you can only not see 2 checks, so... Which also sucked, by the way, because like when I was going back through there to put the bean, I was like, well, I'm never coming back here. I went back in to do the 2 checks because I was like, well, if I don't go back in, I potentially lose to people that didn't do the well as people that did do the well, and there's something in there. Whereas like if I go back in and do it, it at least like lessens the risk of losing to both sides. So not great, but most stuff I do, I tend to try and be as efficient as possible. So, and in some ways it did work out. Like you were saying, the strength 2, like the long shot, I felt like that long shot actually kind of felt like that was the one thing that felt right in the seed. Like in the first hour and a half, I was like, hey, we got the long shot when we were going in the area. We can do water temple and not worry about it. And I'd been thinking about dipping water while I was getting Scarecrow set. So the fact that I didn't, I was like, hey, we saved a little bit of time. So that's kind of nice, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think this is just one of those seeds where it's like you have to do so much of the seed that like it's more so just like efficiently routing and getting the items in a timely manner than it really is about the mistakes you make in certain areas.
Yeah.
And
There's oh, go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just think like having a few mistakes early isn't gonna bite you in this seed because you have to do so much anyways.
Yeah, it's very much just like how calls kind of feel, right? Like at the end of the day, a lot of the calls have been quite jetty, I would say. From what at least all the ones I've played generally have. As far as I'm aware, the ones that I haven't played mostly have as well. So like a lot of the time, it's kind of felt like if you play super efficient for too long, you'll kind of get bit in the arse for it. So you kind of need to identify when you need to stop doing stuff. But like, you will occasionally get seeds like this, right? Where like you say, there's so much stuff you either have to do or like out of the way stuff that's like awkward that like you're not gonna want to go to ice for Serenade. But like you're gonna have to do it at some point to get the light arrows. You just don't know it. So doing everything as best as you can just kind of means that you don't get tripped up. You end up getting to the full clear quicker, and like you say, yeah, just good result. So yeah.
We've had a few
GG's
more
definitely.
finishes.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say Alexander Harold in 6th place, Cola in 7th, Le Plapur in 8th, Mafrucci in 9th, Kyrie Strombaum in 10th, and Fabio in 11th, and Alex just finishing up in 12th.
My guy. Well, one of my guys, but
One of your guys.
One of many.
Do you think you should have played as Chungus for Cryo?
Okay, so I was gonna say as well, if it wasn't obvious, shoutouts to Cryo, right? Because I've known the guy probably going on 14 years now. We're like, I would say we're pretty close friends. So happy birthday to him, even though it's now the next day.
Yeah, it's not the next day here, so
Yeah.
I think I probably could have played as Chungus, to be honest, because like, I mean, I don't know what the setup would look like for the last stream in Jabu, but like I was just concerned about those specific positioning setups because I'd just not played with the model at all before. But I probably could have got away with it, to be honest. So I kind of regret not doing that now, but it is what it is. But I kind of just had to, felt like I had to do well on this one, so I didn't want to risk it.
Well, you certainly did well.
I don't think I could have really done much better, to be honest. So
there should be points now. Let me see.
Yes, should be.
I think I said when you finished, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be really happy with that result.
Yeah, so I had the one that I really wanted to get rid of. I had like an 810 that like that seed, I last location 20 skulls, right? So it felt like it couldn't have possibly gone much worse. I actually, looking at the points, I actually got as many points as I could have gone without matching or replacing my best score. My best score was 1,000 and I got a 999. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I had the 810. I was like, technically this is the worst I could possibly do. That's not exactly how it works, but like when you hard last location and have like a pretty long go mode and get that score, you're like, well, this is kind of the low bar. And while I'm like, I was just barely in top 32, after the last call, I think projected expectations of points were like a bit higher than what I actually had. So I was like, okay, I kind of need another good score to just push myself up a bit more to feel a bit more safe. And I mean, if it's not safe now, I did what I could, right? Like I got almost as good as I was 1 point off getting as much score as I could get from this race. So, which I guess would have been, looking at the times actually, would have been if I hadn't messed up Ganon, which I'm a bit annoyed about because like up until that point, my go mode was fairly clean. So messing up Ganon a little bit was like, I mean, when I got hit, I was like, okay, I'm not that, like, I felt like I should be worried, but like, I think every time I've messed up Ganon like that in recent times and gone to the point where I'm within one hit, I've never actually died, so I wasn't like actually worried. I was like, it's fine, we'll just focus up and not get hit. That's fine. But like, if I'd not got hit in the first place or like not missed at any point, I would have beat Hells. I would have got 1,000 or whatever, so I'm kind of mad about that, but not that mad, so yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to be playing this call, I was going to be playing tomorrow's, but I was supposed to be going to a Christmas dinner tonight, so I was expecting even if I was home in time for this, I was going to be like too drunk to want to do it. But then I like woke up at like 3 p.m. today, wasn't really feeling the like proper socializing, so I kind of I flaked out on that. I was like, well, if I'm flaking out on that, I may as well make myself useful and do the qual. So I don't know. I'm not.
Well, that seems like a pretty good result for that.
yeah. I'm not much of like a fate kind of guy, but like aside from the anime, but like I don't know. Like sometimes shit works out, you know. Like it just dumps itself at your feet, and you're like, I guess this is the hand we're dealt. This is what's happened. Seems good.
And it was a 50 skull C that you crushed.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like I crushed it, but if you say so. If I
feel like fourth place is pretty close to crushing it.
Yeah, that's true.
You beat ATZ,
okay, we'll take it.
You can go give ATZ grief now.
I give him grief all the time, to be fair. I'm not gonna actually give him grief because I'm actually really stoked that he actually decided to play, because I feel like the last few, I mean, we started talking back like season 3 kind of time, maybe just before that. And then like, I don't know, when he stopped playing, like it felt like every year quals would come around and he'd just be like asking how people are doing, but also like BMing people, and then it's just like, you can't talk shit if you're not playing. Get your own skin in the game, you know. So it was a lot of poo flinging backwards and forwards. So I'm not gonna like chat shit about him playing. I'm actually really stoked that he's here. So
yeah, no, it's definitely cool to see someone who dominated this game so early on to see them come back.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like obviously he's a bit rusty. Like he literally decided to play mid quals. But like I can't remember if he said to me before, but like at least some discussion happened ages ago where he was like, okay, yeah, but I won when like no one knew how to play or how to like root or anything. So like I guess that in some ways it's like it's interesting seeing like how he stacks up now. The community as a whole is so much better. Like there's so many good players now. It's kind of crazy, really. I'm sort of debating whether I want to hang around until like someone else gets here, to be fair.
Levi unfortunately just died to Iron Knuckles and Climb, so he won't be like too much longer, but you are also free to go if you would like.
Yeah, it's also what, like 2 a.m. now for you?
Quarter past 2. Yeah, I mean, I might stay up because there's some VTuber stuff going on that I might watch, but I might just not and actually wake up in time to watch the Street Fighter today. So we'll see. I think I'll go though. As nice as fun as it is to be here, and as much as I like everyone on the restream, thanks for having me, by the way. I mean, I can never quite decide whether I like being on restream for quals, because like historically my results have been pretty good, but every time I'm like, okay, well, one of these is going to go badly and I'm going to feel terrible. So, but yeah,
I'm
thanks for
glad it
having me.
wasn't this time, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if the first hour
felt like it.
bad, it didn't.
It felt like it for a bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on Restream, for joining us for an interview. Appreciate it. And congrats on finishing your quals. And
Thank you.
Yeah, and GG's
wherever...
again. Great result.
Yeah. Gonna wait with bated breath now. I think I should be safe, but I don't want to like confidently say so. I mean, last year with the groups, I was in a position where I was like, well, Sponge is gonna beat Gogeta, and then I'll have a tiebreaker, so I'm not out of this yet. And then I was at work, and I just got a message. It's like Sponge lost. I'm like, oh, I'm out. So I don't wanna like make assumptions anymore.
Well, I believe there are only 4 quals left, so
the window's pretty tight. Yeah, not long to wait at least.
Yeah, I think there might be an announcement imminent.
Cool.
Calculations. So.
Okie dokie.
See
well,
what plays out there.
Yeah. I'll see you both around. See the restream around.
All right. Thanks, Decker.
See ya.
Bye.
GG's.
Yep. Thanks.
All right. 1 Brit leaves. 1 Brit enters. Levi entering the Ganon fight.
Will hopefully be less scary than Decker's Ganon fight.
I actually think all of them are going to be, like, perfectly staggered. Like, Levi will finish up here. Heaps will be doing climb.
Yeah.
Chimp has to go finish fire still, but it's a pretty fast fire.
Yeah, it's not a long fire.
Yeah. Dins is in Ganon's castle in Water Trial, and Lights are in the final chest in Ice Cavern.
It's almost like foreshadowing. You get the Lights in Ice Cavern, and then you go to the Ice Trial and get Dins.
The Ice Trial, yeah. Fire and Ice.
Alright, Phase 1 is done for Levi. Just 5 more hits.
Hookshot very interestingly locks your lullaby, as well as
it locks everything.
Things.
Yeah, basically Skull Logic means your hookshot locks basically the entire sheet. It locks your bomb bag, it locks ZL, among other things.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit as we saw Lights for the first time. Also Skull Logic.
Yeah, basically you need 30 skulls for that scale to get your bomb bag out of River.
Yep. And GG's Levi, 19th place.
Yeah. I think Levi is going to be pretty happy with that finish.
Yeah, I think so too. Had some really... So, for anyone who is joining after it happened, Levi did have a crash. Had to go back and fight Bulbagia again, and had to do some progression into Ice Cavern again. And
didn't lose a ton of time, but it was definitely unfortunate.
Yep. It definitely was at least a few minutes, which doesn't feel great, but I think he should still be really happy with that time.
Yeah. I agree.
And he beat Alexis. Alexis, I believe, has done all 8 quals that will count towards points. So just playing for some practice here.
Just having some fun playing the randomizer.
Our current #1 seed.
Yeah, I hear Alexis is pretty good.
I hear Alexis is alright. So we'll see if Levi pops in. It's also, you know, almost 2:30 a.m. for him as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Levi and Chimp also is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go straight to bed.
Oh, no. Chimp has to come in. It is required. Levi will be in. Great. Thanks, Jimbo. Let's see. So Alexis rounding out top 20, followed by Jarek and Susato.
So are two runners I'm not super familiar with, but I'm sure they'll probably be pretty satisfied with a top 20-ish finish.
Yeah, Jarek is relatively newer, I believe. Sometime this year, though, so it being December, that doesn't mean a lot. Susato is a returning player who has had a rename, though.
Oh, okay. That would explain why I'm not... didn't recognize the name. And we now have Pipey and Flea finishing.
GG's. Also returning players.
Mm-hmm. Jarek was in Scrubs. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Heaps in the climb currently. Has FW equipped? Must have set it in Ganon's slower.
Yeah, probably set it in Ganon's, but didn't actually climb up the tower.
Yeah. Chimp just finishing up Shadow, but as I mentioned, still has to do fire, so...
Yeah, it has not been into Foolish Fire yet, so...
Yep.
But it's not long. I believe boss key is just in the large fire room at the bottom.
I think so. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're going in with Hammer, you're always going to do that loop, which is going to waste a little time. Welcome in, Levi. GG's.
GG's.
GG.
How are we feeling about your placement, the seed in general?
I feel okay, because I've kind of come to the conclusion that I'm probably too thorough anyway. So getting, like, just as a tendency of the way my playing style is. And the fact that it was 50 skulls, and I'm just kind of like, 50 skulls really irritates me because everything stops for skulls. But to be honest, it probably did me a favour because this is the best I've placed in terms, and probably the most I've got points wise. And also the fact that I got Dins and 50 skulls within about a minute of each other was oddly satisfying. I didn't have to have an extra sort of chunk of gameplay where I had to go especially to hunt down skulls or anything like that. They all just sort of just both meshed quite seamlessly, which was quite satisfying. So, having my adult 2 made me laugh out loud. So after having what felt like a particularly long child 1, obviously getting Jabu and Deku done, and then having, you know, the Temple of Time path to Volve, and then going back adult, finding Requiem, and I'm like, back child, fuck's sake. And so I'm just there because I was like, I feel like, I mean, it was a productive child 1, but I got to a point where I felt like I probably stayed child for too long here. I feel because I think GDG's was accessible at least for quite some time, and that was kind of screaming at me for a good chunk. And then I got that, and I'm like, fuck's sake, back child we go. So, but yeah, I'm definitely curious to know what my overall point placement is now, because I had this is my 6th question mark. So, and I had one 419 point qual, it's my 5th. So I'm like, I kind of wanted to get rid of that. So on that. So, but I think that to be honest, I think this is my best, to be honest, in terms of finish time. So I'm feeling pretty good, surprisingly. And also, for some reason, the shuffled music was banger after banger after banger. I was having a fucking great time. So that
Nice.
I had Castlevania Bloodlines as my Ganon fight, and it fit so well. And I'm like, yes, I'm actually pumped now.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Well, if you want to know, points are available for finishers. You got an 885, which is your best result. Which
Yeah.
unfortunately means
doesn't count.
it doesn't really count, but it did knock down whatever your lowest was.
Yeah, which is that. So basically, I think my next one was about 810. I think it was definitely an 800. So I've topped myself up 400 points.
Yeah.
There as
Yeah.
well.
Pretty good.
So yeah,
Nice.
that's exactly what I wanted on that one. Just if anything, just to get rid of that one. So I've still got 2 more to play with, so that's satisfying on that
Yeah.
one. So because I'm aiming for Challenge Cup. Whilst I think it would be fun to hit top 32, I don't think I would have a good time. I think I would literally be fodder for the likes of Mr. Mario, like that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm just, like it'd basically be a case of I think I'd suit Challenge Cup more just because I feel like I might stand a chance of winning on that one.
Yeah.
So, on that one, at least winning one, which would be quite nice. So, but yeah, on the whole, I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
On this one,
Yeah,
so
I thought you played really well this seed. You were the first on Restream to get Strength 2, and we thought that was gonna trip up everyone for quite a while. And then that very unfortunate crash.
I was livid.
Yeah.
I was, thankfully it wasn't too bad, but for some reason that jump to Volvagia, like in practice seeds and stuff like that, I've been getting it first try consistently to a point where I haven't been thinking about it. And then all of a sudden now it's just like, it's taken me like about 15 attempts. And then as soon as the crash happened, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm in Fire Temple and I'm like, oh no, not again. So,
Yeah, you seemed a little upset during that second Volvagia fight. Like,
yeah, it was just irritating because I mean I've been a bit the jump has been fine, but the vol fights have been a bit sketchy. So and like I've been uber paranoid about them. So, but I think because to be perfectly honest, I very very nearly didn't go back to Ice Cavern, which would have been a horrendous mistake on that one. So, because it was like I only had one check left, and I knew the song was Serenade. I'd already full cleared Lake, and the hell do I need to go back for? But I'm like, no. Go get the skulls. Yeah, I need the skulls. Just go back, and then there were lights, and I'm just like, oh, hello, Ganons. Getting Neru's in the forest trial check was irritating on that one. I was like, wrong fucking spell. But the water trial, I'm just like, okay, there's go mode. Right, cool. 'Cause I just got the 50th skull there. So, but yeah, I think this suited me on that one. It's just been something really, it'd been the realization of being habitually too thorough. I think probably this, as much as 50 skull seeds irritate me, this one actually suited me. I think so.
Yeah, just want to step in real quick. GG's to Doc on Restream finishing. We also got a really big raid from ZFG. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, welcome in Raiders.
And Doc is here. GG's Doc.
Hey, Heaps.
Oh, GG, man. Do you need a band-aid for the boo-boo?
I need some alcohol.
Aw.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Just that Strength 2 location for you was just a rough spot to go back and get.
Well, my child was so like everything was perfect in child. I had no reason to go back to child.
You just had nothing left as child, but
nothing left as child. My child route was impeccable. I did everything in child, and I was like, I never have to go back. And then there was Strength 2, and everything was locked behind Strength 2.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, I thought you were forfeiting when you found that, honestly.
Did you see my message?
No.
Oh, did it not show up on chat? or on the stream?
I think it did. I think we were just kind of busy with interviews at that point.
Might have to go VOD diving on that one, I think.
Hold
Yeah,
on, I gotta check to
And
see.
I
if it's
believe
on
it
there.
said, "Can I dot forfeit now?"
Yes.
Oh.
The second I found the strength, I was like, "Oh God, I want to forfeit."
Absolutely, you could have, but I'm glad you didn't.
No, you don't forfeit restream. It's a rule. When you're on restream, you
For legal
unless you're, like-
purposes, it is not actually a rule.
it's an unspoken rule.
It's like the same as like in a 1v1. You don't FF really.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Decker got fourth though. Nice job. Decker.
Yeah, GG.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a rule when I'm on restream, we don't forfeit.
Yeah, that's fine. I completely agree on there. So unless you're like an hour, unless you know you're like an hour behind and all three of the people have finished, then it's just kind of like maybe
Well,
just
then
cut your
we're
losses. I
rating
suppose.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that I used my Furores and Bolero to go full clear forest was just that was the point of the seed where I was just like, I hate this. I hate all of
Yeah.
this. I don't want to be here. I don't
No,
wanna
it
be doing this
definitely
anymore.
felt bad to see you do all forest and then just, absolutely nothing in there.
Just not a thing.
Mhm.
Well, and you know, I looked at the items, I looked at skulls, and I didn't go out of my way for skulls, but I certainly took them into account when I was doing my routes and making sure that I was being smart about picking. I could have gotten 75 skulls by the end of the seed. I was at 50 by the 2-hour mark, and I still had another hour and a half left of the seed. I could have gotten 75.
Yeah, we were talking about that when we saw the 50 hovers. We're like, you kind of really want to see a bongo hint in this seed because then you can kind of chill on the skull collecting. And yet then it turned out that you kind of needed 20 a bit earlier. 30 was logically required for your first bomb bag. So it just kind of ended up skulls were king today.
Yeah, the Skull House just hoarded all the goodies. Like, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. When I'm sitting here being like, I got Bomb and River, I'm like, I'm gonna win the seed. I'm gonna win the seed. I'm just gonna win the seed. And then I didn't.
That seed goes
Sorry.
no.
One second. Chimp, the people's hero,
Yeah.
is
Yes.
using shoes.
GG. Get in, lad.
You love how I used Neighbor's Love and then proceeded to get the clean cycle? I was just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And I was like, I can't die again, but I also, like, of course I got the clean cycle after, like, setting myself up to die.
I mean, that's how it works when you
is-
take
Like, every time.
I know. Did I get at least more than 800 points? That's all I care about. I got 831.
more than
Hey, that is more
Look.
than 800. I'm not
Look.
great at math, but I can tell that.
My
I know that much.
my rusty ass is just shooting for challenge cap. I've lowered my expectations.
I'm gonna say with it dropping to 32, it's fucking hard, man. It's gotten
Yeah.
so it's like it's way harder. Like everything, like this, like compared to like last year, and it's like, yeah, it's just the shit. Like dropping those top 32, like those bottom 32 positions off, has like really made a difference in terms of like competitive viability of it. So, I mean, what was it last year when it was? Oh, sorry, after you.
I was gonna say with a 0, I'm at 106th place. So
You'll be
I think
okay,
I'm
I
doing
think.
okay.
Yeah, that is a tough one because it's like it's not like the playing field has gotten worse by
No.
any means.
We
Like
just cut out 32 runners.
we just cut out 32 runners. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in these last few quals as runners get closer to, oh, I still need two more quals. How does that shake out for me?
Yeah, I think the push for top 32 is going to be wicked tight.
Yeah.
Chimp jump slashed. It's gonna be a long fight.
And then there's me, who's just shooting for top 96.
I believe in you. I'm rooting
Hey.
for you, friend.
Genuinely, like, the top 80, I would say. Like, even last year's top 64, like, top 80, anyone in that would have a chance at beating anyone else, so it's not like it's not like top 96 is anything to sneeze at.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
The middle ground in OOTR is just a lot of people at very similar skill levels where, like, depending on the seed, like, any one of them could win. Like, it's just, this game has gotten so competitive, and there's so many good runners now that just, like, you know, being in the top 100 is, like, it's really good still.
Yeah. God, my fifth. I hate skull seeds. Can we start with,
Yes,
like, I
Inko.
hate skull seeds?
Heaps is a forest quote-unquote enjoyer.
Oh, I hate forest. There's a reason I bailed after doing courtyard. I got my 3 skulls and I'm like, I got my lullaby. I actually just wanted to do ice, but I couldn't get ice, and so I had to go forest to pick up lullaby, and then I was like, okay, well, I did enough forest to be happy. Time to go ice.
I'd say that's pretty much exactly what I did. It's like, but I don't know. I think it was I did that all on my adult one though. So that was the end of my adult one actually. Oh yeah, like with it's like I can't imagine like how many times did he save quit as child and have to go through Zora's domain. I mean, like Jesus, like I've never seen Zora's domain so much in my life.
And GG's to Chimp.
GG's
Final
Chimp.
finish on Restream.
Let's go, Chimp.
I know, I was like ready to head back to adult, and I was in WoW as my last spot. No, where was I? I was on. No, I was picking up 20. Picking up 20 on my way to adult, and I got Kokiri Sword, and I was like, how the hell do I route Deku in?
The problem is you don't.
have very long child ones.
I was like, get to Deku. There's no good way to get to Deku.
There is, like I was gonna say, it's like especially when Minuet and Bolero are in shitty spots. It's like
I hiked field.
Yeah.
I grabbed the skull outside of CAC, and then I just hiked field.
It's like honestly, I feel like because my thing was like I used the child save orb an awful lot, and I'm just like it's probably one of the few times where I just went, God, I wish I played on an emulator instead. For this one, just because of the amount of resets that I had to do in order to be able to get just to spare the hiking.
Trust me, it doesn't make your time any faster as somebody who plays on emulator.
I know, just in terms of just the resets, that's all. So I'm just like, I probably would have saved about three minutes for that sort of, in approach, honestly. So, but I don't know. Yeah, because I was saying to the guys earlier, heaps is that I've the only because I'm probably too thorough for my own good, and I think this is probably the only reason I've done so well in this particular one. So I'll take a top 20 finish on there. So
did you have strength 2 when you went to GG the first time?
Yep. I had both strengths by the time I did my adult 2. Well, my adult 2 was literally go adult, get Requiem, and then I went fuck it. Back child again, so that was my adult 2. Yeah. And then so go back through child spirit and then go back adult again. So, but yeah. So the other thing is as well, it was just being able to pick up a couple of skulls as well. And
good. My adult 2 started at 1:30.
I was going to say mine was like my child one was again probably a good like hour 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a really long adult one and a really long child one, Levi.
It's like it's just had to me. It's just how it worked out. So.
Oh my god! Did you? Yeah, no. I did River, and Bombag, and so and then I knew 50. So I actually kind of extended my adult a little bit. I didn't go forest, but I extended it to get the skulls and time of day and blah blah blah. Did DC.
Oh yeah, mine
And
was
then-
it was River up to DC, and then back through Goron City, and then go and get ZL from Minuet, and then I had Hookshot. I can't remember what Hookshot was exactly, but I picked that up at some, and then so do Forest Courtyard, and then that was kind of my adult one, really, to be honest. So, but
Yeah. And then I picked up what's its face? Rudo's, and then Boomerang, and I was like, do I just do Jabu in my child one? Great, I guess so.
see, mine was the other way around. It was just kind of like I had Jabu, and I'm like I kind of completely squiffed the logic of anything. I'm just like, I have no idea how the hell this is meant to fit together. But then I kind of realized that, yo, Chipman, GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. Yep.
We all just to become. It's just become an episode of King of the Hill now, isn't it? Just go. Yep. Yep. 50 skulls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyone? Who
That was the easy
rushed,
part.
Who rushed River? Hands
Me.
up.
I
River
did.
rushes.
I did.
Oh.
Me did. I did too.
Like it fucking helped me though.
I think it just worked to see, to be honest. No, just to get just
thought,
that
oh,
bomb back.
good.
So.
Yeah. Beautiful. And
Okay.
then, of course, everything was just sort of split up everywhere else. It's like, oh, well, you need to go here and here and here, but not the well. You don't need to go to the fucking well, Chip.
Wanted to
Not
go to the
twice.
fucking well. I went twice too.
Oh,
Oh,
Well twice, GGG twice.
thankfully, GCG just once, thankfully.
Forest twice,
Um,
fire twice, water twice.
Oh, man. I didn't go all those places twice, which makes me sad because I finished after you, and you doubled it like every dungeon.
I was not having a good
but-
time, Jim.
Oh no, I was having a terrible time. It was just a terrible seed. Like, what can you do? Logically, you need 30 skulls before you get a single. I think I found one gold chest in 90 minutes.
But it was a hook shot.
Yeah, it was the hook. Oh no, sorry. There was two. There was a lovely Zora tunic in the Deku tree. But other than that, there was nothing for like hours. It felt like there was actually nothing in the seed. And then every gold chest in Spirit was, after the hammer, was garbage.
I think the weird thing about the seed is I had all 3 bomb bags and knowledge of both scales before I went valley. I was like, I got the bomb bag in river, got the bomb bag on rolling Goron, knew about the bomb bag on pose, had the scale, knew about the other scale on skulls, and I was like, what the hell is path to King Dodongo then in valley?
Skull
I was like, do
logic.
I need to go valley?
Yeah.
Skull logic.
Oh yeah, but like I was like it can't be any of the 3 bomb bags or scale to get bomb bag. I was like, there's got to be something in valley.
It
I
was
only think.
scale to get bomb.
I mean, who wants scale to get bomb bag, but that was besides the point.
But yeah, I was
Wow.
kind of like I just for some reason I just could not route in Lon like time of day wise before getting something done. I just couldn't do it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only reason I did Valley. So it was just kind of like, I'm not going back at all without doing that ranch. And then because I think I did get because I got the hint. Like I did Lon at like 1 hour 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very late.
It was
Yeah.
very late.
So
You
I'm
were
just
doing
get-
Lon Lon, I think, around when Chimp was doing DC.
Oh right, okay.
It was-
Which I don't remember because this whole thing was a blur, quite frankly.
yeah.
It's like,
It-
okay,
it was
where's the
late.
next skull?
Hmm.
Where's the next skull? So on and so forth. Fuck it. And then 20 skulls just had the Kakiri sword, just hanging out. It's like, yo, I'm here. It's like, what the fuck? And then like 40 skulls was chews, and there was no chews. God damn, I hunted for chews for like an hour. Not a single bomb chew in a single brown chest.
Of course not.
I think I picked some up in Shadow, but that was my
Yeah, I
goal
picked
at
some
that
up in
point,
Shadow
so-
as well, but I picked up the 40. I was like, I'm getting these. I've earned them. And then at the end on the Ganon's climb, I'm like, I'm using these bomb chews on the Iron Knuckles. Because A, I've died once already, stupidly, to a fucking Floor Master, which was the dumbest death I've had in years. and B, I was like, I spent so long looking for chews. If I don't use them, then this seed is unfulfilled. So I needed to use them on something.
We appreciated it.
What a mess.
What a mess.
I haven't even seen how I didn't even load the race room until I haven't even seen how people got on. Like 251 for first. That is, at least no one went bonkers. When I found that bomb bag, I was like, I think like 6 or 7 people are going to have found that within like 10 minutes. Because I was tempted to go river as adult 1 and then didn't. And I think a few people would have found that, completely destroyed the seed and completely ruined everyone's points. But thankfully, it doesn't look like that. Quite
Yeah, the issue was there were too many items in just very awkward locations to get to.
Yeah. Shout outs to Kokiri Forest to Bane. Oh, that hook shot's past the line.
Hook
now,
shot,
yeah.
that's definitely going to point you to Ice Cavern.
Yeah. Thanks, game. That doesn't unlock.
It
doesn't just unlock the whole seed. Yeah,
just like
every
big
item in the game
fucking.
while one strength. Yeah, so
I'm like, I
nice.
still don't know how that hook shot leads to light arrows and Ice Cavern, and frankly, at this point, I don't care.
It's just
More
because
skull
I assume,
logic.
it locks the scale, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, it locks the scale and your bomb, but it also just locks ZL.
yeah, well, but because it locks the scale, locks the L. So because it locks the
Yeah.
scale, it locks everything. Like apart from one strength, that's the only thing that's not locked by a hook shot. The seed.
Well, that's why it had to be the hook shot, because the strength
it locks the
gets
hovers
you.
on 52.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
that's
strength
beautiful.
gets you into Crater. You don't necessarily need the scale or the bomb bag for that piece. It's specifically the hook shot that gets you Sarias that gets you ZL.
Yeah.
I stopped giving a fuck when I saw the hook shot. I was like, well, this just means lights could be anywhere. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks, game.
well, that's true.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'm just going to play for density. Guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so that's what you have to do, really. It's like, well, literally, there was nothing pointing you anywhere. I full cleared water. I was like, fuck it. Like, what else can I do?
Yeah. Well, and the
I'll
only
just do
reason-
everything.
The only reason I went ice was I was like, it's skulls and I want Serenade. Great.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then I found lights and I was like, well, that was convenient.
Well, at that point, I was like, well, it's ice or deep forest, and I know which one I'm not fucking doing, so I guess I'm off to ice.
Well, I can tell you which one I did do.
Yeah, I did
you did both.
deep forest.
I did both! I
Oh.
did both! Thanks, Bear,
You
you're
did.
right.
Everything heaps.
I
And you still finished 40 minutes before I did.
want to cry.
Party.
It was like 5 or
I was like maybe 10 minutes ahead of you.
yeah. I don't think it was quite 10. It was like 7
Oh,
or 8.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong
Yeah.
person.
No, if I got a 257 and did all of that, then I would absolutely be cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was very comfortably in the 327.
Well, any other thoughts, feelings you want to share?
I'm really pleased that was the restream I was on.
Right.
Over the moon. that was the restream I was on.
Never invite me back to restream again.
I'm pleased my file name checked out, you know, that's all that really mattered.
It's true.
Well, I had a great
It's on
time.
Restream.
I'm pleased. I'm pleased, buddy.
Mm.
I'm pleased for anyone that did well that seed because it's ass.
Yeah, it was definitely a go everywhere. I was just saying to the guys, like, you know, I feel like I have a habit of, you know, being too thorough. So, but this type of seed, you've got no choice but to be thorough. So, kind of worked out. So,
I
Somehow,
will
though,
say.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, go for it, man.
No, I was just going to say somehow I got more points that one than I did my first qual, which makes no sense. But I'll take the 50 extra points, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you to the calculation.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say though, if you're gonna have a 3.5 hour seed, I can't imagine a better commentary team than Bear and Mel. So, at least you got good commentary.
Yeah, I'm
hell
going
that
to
we
enjoy
endured.
watching that back for sure.
I wouldn't go that far.
It was. There were comms. We were
There
talking.
were comms. We did talk
I did.
about
My
mac and
computer
cheese.
did die for a good like 10 minutes though. So
Jimbo popped in, talked about RuneScape for a bit.
I'm pretty sure my brain died for at least 10 minutes in there too, Bear, so I'm right there with you.
Well, thank you, all three of you. GG's. I think you all have at least a couple more quals to do. Yes?
Yeah, I need to do at least one more. I got a 0. I got to purge. Because I forgot to show my RetroArch settings.
Oh,
Rip.
did you do
You
that
had one
today?
fucking job, Peach.
No,
One job.
I made sure I showed it before the race started.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Good.
But yeah, GG's everyone.
Yeah,
It was a
GG's
fun
all.
watch.
Good luck in your last quals. Give our runners a follow, everyone. Levi,
Yes, please
Decker, who already went to bed because it's 3 a.m.
Yep.
Keeps and Chimp. Thank you both for staying up this late. Keeps, thank you for existing.
He turned up. That's all we asked.
Damn right.
But always nice when you joined us for interviews too, so thank you for that. Our trackers today, Aurelians, Joshy, Mr. Moxie, and Lady Draco pushed all the buttons and kept track of things, because God knows Bear and I did not.
Yeah, no, thank you so much to the trackers. Like, especially with 4 screens, like, I would have missed everything that happened in that seed. So thank you so much. And thank you again, all the runners. It was a lot of fun to watch.
You're very welcome. GG's, everyone.
GG's all. Good night.
Jimbo.
GG's.
Push the buttons.
Jimbo!
Jimbo!
Put the button. Push the red button. Jimbo. Away.
Hey, he's here.
I'm not
Christ,
AFK.
Jimbo.
Relax. Relax. No, but thanks again. Melqui and Bear summed it up pretty damn well. Thanks everybody for allowing us to put on a kick-ass restream. It was a great race. That's gonna do it for the programming for tonight here on ZSR. We're gonna be back here tomorrow morning with 2 races pretty early. 8 a.m. Eastern, we have an MMR Challenge Cup Grand Finals. It is Game 3. Fabio 94 versus Death King II. That's gonna be on ZSR main, so this channel. And we're also gonna have qualifier number 17 coming online at 9 a.m. Eastern on Zelda Speedruns 2. So we hope to see you all. Oh my god, dude, I can't speak tonight. We hope to see you all there. And I hope you have a great rest of the night.
Jimbo, we
good night,
still
everyone.
love you.
I love you too. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.
Good night.
Later.